should not separate us. Come and sit closer to me. And I said, Abiriga, I must go and take my seat. We were with him. Little did we know that we were seeing him for the last time. It's so sad that we are losing him. It's so sad that he has gone in a brutal manner, and I really wonder who could have killed Abiriga. I wonder for what reason. Because Abiriga talked what he believed in.
He will tell you this is what I believe in and this is not what I believe in. The right, however, the Prime Minister was talking about the age limit program. And you know, Abiriga was so keen this matter, saying, you know, you people, we must give ourselves 7 years so that we can be able to work for our people. Little did he know that he was not even going to finish the fight. So this world is just useless. Let's avoid even looking for making enemies, even when we know we shall leave the stage. We are just in the stage, and each one of us will come, play your part, and go. Abiriga has ended his part in a sad way. My wish and prayer is that our government takes control of the security of the Ugandans, so that we can all wake up in the morning and we know maybe I will not die as we look forward to joining him in future. God gave us and he has taken away. Abiriga, my brother, may your soul rest in peace.
Thank you. I now invite Honorable Abiriga to have the appendix, but as he comes, I want to announce the following contribution. Message of condolence and contribution, Sebei Caucus, 1,500,000. Message of condolence and contribution, UPDF, 1 million shillings. Message of condolence and contribution, Honorable Nyakecho, $100. Message of condolence and contribution, West Nile Parliamentary Group, 10,050,000. Lango Parliamentary Group, message of condolence and contribution, 1 million shillings. Teso Parliamentary Group, message of condolence and 3,600,000 shillings. Karamoja Caucus, message of condolence and 1,400,000 shillings. Honorable Bariaya.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members of Parliament, I indeed stand here to second the motion to pay tribute to the late Honorable Colonel Ibrahim Abiriga. Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the independent members of Parliament and on behalf of the people of Kabale Municipality, and indeed on my own behalf, I wish to extend my sincere and heartfelt condolences to the family of the late Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga, the people of Arua Municipality, the NRM Party, and Ugandans at large. On Friday evening, the nation was yet again engulfed with high emotions and fear as the death of the deceased comrade spread far and wide, especially aided by a wake of social media. I was in utter disbelief and prayed that it was fake news. When I first heard the unfortunate news, I wondered who on earth would want such a man, Honorable Abiriga, dead, more so in such a brutal, heinous, and gruesome manner. I thought it was a lie. Madam Speaker, the man we are eulogizing today was one of unquestionable loyalty and principles. Honorable Abiriga was an NRM stalwart whose loyalty to his party was unquestionable from the time he joined the party up to the time of his demise. He was a household name in as far as the NRM was concerned. His commitment to it was unwavering. He was a yellow man from his car to his clothes, to his utensils, and much more. When NTV went to his home, even his bed sheets were yellow. Cups in the house were yellow. He was not only about words, but he believed in what he believed in, and also actions he practiced was all about him being NRM up to his demise. This character or trait we perhaps can emulate from our foreign colleague: loyalty and commitment. Whatever you choose to believe in, honorable members, do it with all your ability. He will be remembered as a man who served in this country in various capacities, as the Prime Minister had said. He was an administrator, an RDC, Naru and Yumbe. He also represented his constituency in the House and really loved them. Some of us may not have agreed with him on many issues regarding the future of this country and governance. But I also believe that in politics, there must be tolerance and accommodation of all diverse opinions. We cannot be a country that terrorizes and assassinates people because of their political beliefs. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, as we bid farewell to our colleague, we must demand that government produces reports and accountability for lives of Ugandans, famous or otherwise, that have gripped this country, gruesome murders, kidnaps, and more. We can not stop at rhetoric of everything is under control. No. Ugandans are demanding for answers, and they should be provided. No one is safe these days. Right Honorable Speaker, Ugandans deserve better. Madam Speaker, we need to be reassured that security organs of our nation are still in charge. That it is safe for one to move to their homes and not be attacked by machete wielding thugs at their gates. That women will not be waylaid, raped and killed. That Ugandans are safe from kidnaps, and that have become a routine these days. That someone shall be gunned down by men on border borders in broad daylight or otherwise. The security of every Ugandan is a must. It is a must and it has to be guaranteed. You can never know whether you're going to get home. Nowadays when they open the gate, you first people to see whether there is anyone outside waiting for you. You're getting close to your home, you don't know whether the gate will open and no one is there to beat you up. Around a few months ago, my wife was getting into the gate and all of a sudden stones were being hit at the car. All glasses were down. The only thing she could do was scream until they just came and picked her handbag and ran away at the gate. So there is a very big problem, honorable members. A very, very big problem. We really need accountability. Rest in peace.
Thank you, honourable members. Now we begin the general contributions. Can I invite the chair of the Muslim caucus and then Honourable Cooper, who was the first to arrive at the scene. And as the chair of the Muslim caucus comes, I think let me take this opportunity to thank the members of parliament who volunteered to go to the scene, spend the night there, spend the day there. General Ali, I really want to thank you, members of the West Nile caucus, and many, many other members. Thank you for the support. Honourable Hood Katulam.
Honourable Speaker, we are mourning the gallant son of Uganda, Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga. Humility, calmness are rare attributes that few people have. Honorable Colonel Ibrahim Abiriga has been having those qualities. He practiced what he believed in. He therefore identified himself in what he believed in. On behalf of the Muslim Parliamentary Caucus, I wish to extend our very sincere and heartfelt condolences to the family, his constituents in Arua municipality, the entire leadership and fraternity of the National Resistance Movement for the loss of this gallant son of Uganda. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Abiriga has not been missing any meetings of the Muslim Parliamentary Caucus. He has been making sure that if he's absent, he would call you and inform you that I will not attend the Muslim Parliamentary Caucus, but I will adhere to whatever you have resolved. And he was exactly doing that. He has not been missing joint prayers in our parliamentary mosque. We have been praying with him, and the Muslim Parliamentary Caucus fraternity will indeed miss him. He has been a truthful man, and the scriptures affirm this, that once you say the truth, it is that truth that you have spoken that will set you free and be a peaceful person on earth and the hereafter. Colonel Abiriga has been exactly that. We wish to extend our condolences to the family, to the widow and the orphans, and assure you that the Almighty God, the provider, will keep you and sustain you. Honorable Speaker, the Muslim Parliamentary Caucus has made a contribution of 5 million shillings to the family to help them in starting this journey of a new life, and we believe Allah will comfort them. May the Almighty God give you Jannah and rest you in eternal peace. Thank you very much.
Honorable Cooper and honour members, the contributions we are making will go straight really to the family. They are not going to be part of the food and the rice. They are for the family. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, honourable colleagues. We sit here today on a very sad note because we have lost one of our own. Right Honourable Speaker, I was seated in the canteen with Honourable Lydia Wanyoto when we received a message that Honourable Abiriga has been killed. We thought it was fake news. Within no time, we saw the pictures. We decided that we must drive to the late's home, because we thought possibly maybe he's not dead, such that we could be able to mobilize to evacuate him to the nearest facility. But before we could reach there, we got information that they are both dead. It was sad, and it remains sad. Colleagues, Honorable Abiriga, who we now have no choice but to say the late, we all know his trademark. I decided to put on a yellow tie today to honor my brother. Honorable Abiriga was honest and true to his party. Like the leader of opposition has stated here, during the constitutional amendment, there were some people who were shy to support the constitutional amendment. Honorable Abiriga was in uncertain terms says, I support. Honorable leader of opposition has said about 7 years, there were those who were shy and even continue to be shy up to today. But Honorable Abiriga, I think even in this grave or wherever he will be true to his word. This business of lying and pretending was not his character, which is not typical of most of us, the politicians and Ugandans. That was the level of simplicity and honesty of the late Honorable Abiriga. When even all that thing was all over the social media, which finally came to be famously called as abrogation, he was very honest. He told the people, you are laughing at me. Some people were shy. People wanted to raise issues in this house. But he said, put yourself in my shoes. If you have diabetes and you're faced with a situation, what would you do? Even when we went to court, he extended. He said, the Lord Judge, I did it, I'm sorry. That was the level of honesty. He was not a pretender. He was honest and he believed in what he said. We mourn him today here, gathered in such numbers, because he was our brother, he was our colleague. He cut across. On that evening when he was killed, I had just watched on YouTube with the Honorable former MP for Honorable Charles Oleny, the YouTube about his graduation and diploma, and it was at his home. Everything, whether it was the hanger, whether it was the chairs, it was yellow. Who of you here who believe in that party can reach that extent? There's no one. But that was the love for the party by Honorable Abiriga.
One minute to conclude.
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to appeal to colleagues across the board to be there for each other. When we drove there, we were there with the Honorable Wanyoto and Honorable Tinkasimire, who joined us later. Others were just busy calling. Can we learn to be for each other and for this country? On the security situation, Right Honorable Speaker, we have been asking for a statement to explain about these killings and the reports. Yesterday, when we received His Excellency the President at the home of the late, the residents did ask the President, when are we getting the statement, the portion of what has happened to all these killings? I think the government here, Minister of Internal Affairs and Security, had promised to come and bring a statement such that the country gets to know. I think, and that's the same message the President directed, that can the message be put to the public, even those who are in court, those who have not concluded, let the public know, and such that they are able to know that this is what the government is doing about securing people. But more so to the security organs, can we step up? Can we step up our security to ensure that each and every Ugandan is safe and alive? Let it be a natural death, but not this cascades. Why would one want to kill Honorable Abiriga? If you ask yourself, why would one want to kill him? It's very unfortunate. Right Honorable Speaker, may his soul rest in eternal peace.
Let me invite Honorable Ogama, who is the MP where he's going to be buried, then Honorable Kania, Variomonsi, then I'll get other members. I'm going to try to give everybody as many as where is the Ogama? Okay.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, colleagues who have gathered today in this house in such unbelievably big numbers. It's a very tight situation for us, the people down in the Lower Madi constituency, where the late is going to be taken to rest. Right Honorable Speaker, I was out of the country with the Committee of Public Service and Local Government in Nairobi when we got the news. At that very moment, we were together with our members of East African Assembly, who were also with their other colleagues from other states. Members, you cannot believe that those who were in the company of our members who were there and were not particularly from Uganda were even able to confirm that they know the late Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga. Abiriga's image is never a secret. I know a lot has already been said for the outer part. I'll go straight to the constituency part. What he means to us as the people of Lower Madi. As you've said, Abiriga is a very honest person. He's a transparent person. He's a pro-people leader. Abiriga will always do anything that means much to the interest of his people. When our people along the Nile Valley were suffering from bad leadership of the previous governments, Abiriga joined the rebel forces together with the likes of General Moses Ali. In UNRF 1, he fought to defend the people of the Nile Valley. When Abiriga was appointed as RDC Arua, his record remains clear. He fought corruption, both within the government agencies and at the border points. Right Honorable Speaker, Abiriga is very honest to the extent where Abiriga has never held a position in his native constituency of Lower Madi. Abiriga leads elsewhere. Abiriga came to Arua municipality where my people are the minority, but he was elected as the Member of Parliament. When we were in Tenkwans for the retreat of the party, everyone can confirm if Abiriga was nominated for any position that is to be voted for, nobody wanted to attempt to go for that same position. Even when the president made the State of the Nation address in 2016, where he was trying to promote Buy Uganda, made in Uganda, the person who proposed Abiriga to pick the shoe, I remember, was from the opposition side, and everyone was just in jubilation. That is how much Abiriga has had a distinguished leadership from most of us. Back home, here you have turned up in big numbers, but in the village right now, as I've been part of the people coordinating the burial arrangements, we have already changed the 3 venues. The first was in the home village where he was born. The compound was not enough. They shifted it to Rhino Camp Primary School where he studied. The primary school compound ceased to be enough. As we speak now, we are going to mourn him in a community center, which is an open football field, because the number is overwhelming. That is what he meant to us. We will continue to miss his character. On behalf of my people of Lower Madi and the country at large, we have indeed lost a man who meant so much to everyone. Even in his current residence where he was killed from, if you go to the neighborhood, you cannot believe. I'm sure some of the members within the community, with the due respect to the area member of parliament, might not have known him. But people there have known Abiriga for his generosity. Honorable Abiriga was killed at a point when, Madam Speaker, he had just been giving his tokens to the community, as has always been the case. Most of us, the leaders in this house, with due respect, we are not so down to earth as much as Abiriga is. And that is the kind of leadership our generation would need. I would rather leave my neighborhood in Entebbe where I stay, but I focus on my constituency in Lower Madi. But Abiriga would look at improving the livelihoods of those who surround him. I extend my sincere condolences to the family on behalf of the people, and will forever live to miss our icon for very many reasons. May the Almighty Allah rest his soul in eternal peace.
Honorable Bigger Kania, then Variomus. Honorable members, last night when I was at the home, I heard that actually he had built a mosque where he was living. He had actually built a mosque. That's the type of person he was. Honorable Kania, Variomusi, Kamateka, then I come here, then I come back this side.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Let me, on behalf of the people of West Nile, particularly the members of Parliament here, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and this Parliament for honoring not only Abiriga, but us with this sitting. I know Abiriga is gone. I know we shall all go. But what is important is the recognition of what a person stands for in the short time that we have on this earth. And I sincerely want to thank this Parliament for this honor from your leave to be here. Secondly, since Abiriga died, I had this difficult task when I informed the President and the Right Honourable Prime Minister of being asked to coordinate from the family home. Many of you, colleagues, send us messages. Many of you physically have been there up to this morning. I want to thank you. I want to thank particularly, on behalf of all of you, the Honorable Elijah Okupa, and many others who were there. I also want to thank the community in that village who have been with us from that time up to today, making it possible for us to arrange this send-off. I want to thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and the Right Honourable Prime Minister for the support you have given to us by way of messages and physically being with us since the time of demise of Abiriga at his home up to today. I would also like to thank the Muslim community for having dispensed with a number of the religious rites which they would have performed earlier as soon as Abiriga died. But you honored us to give us that opportunity to say this. I'm concentrating more on thanks because what else can I say? Abiriga lived his life. His life spoke for itself. I don't think I need to speak for Abiriga to say who he was. The Abiriga who talked eloquently, the Abiriga who believed in himself, the Abiriga who was so open-handed, is exactly what Abiriga was. And that speaks for itself. I therefore associate myself with all the other people who have spoken before me, and there's absolutely no need for me to repeat them. But I want to emphasize one point, 2 points only. The Abiriga you see here who has died held many positions from a very humble position. He was not one of the highly educated people, but he believed in himself, and he believed that in himself, even without education, he had talents which he could use to propel him from the position of a mere village person in Rhino camp up to being a member of parliament, to be referred to as honorable. He used these talents. We all have talents. How many of us spend our talents wastefully? Abiriga is an example that yes, all of us, if we believe in ourselves and we believe in the people we work with, we can actually change our own lives and change the lives of many people. In spite of the positions which he held as RDC, in the UPDF, and the SMP, the Abiriga who has died here has died a poor man. Actually, yesterday when the brother Yusuf was talking about relating to the president, what Abiriga has left behind, he merely talked about the house which Abiriga has acquired with the loan that he acquired from this parliament when he joined the parliament in the place near where he was killed. He could have been corrupt. He could have used his coercion to get wealth when he was in RDC. He could have. But he didn't. And today we're honoring him. Arua municipality in West Nile is one of the most difficult constituencies. All the tribes of West Nile are there. And you know, these people from West Nile can be extremely difficult. They can speak like Abiriga speaks. They can speak the truth in your face. But the good thing, they always tell you the truth, which is exemplified by Abiriga. And now in that municipality, all the people of Uganda are there. Rich, poor, and so forth. But Abiriga managed that constituency. He managed it. And he managed it when he was in RDC. And he managed it when he decided to stand for elections. And I don't think Abiriga got his votes from NRM alone. Abiriga got his votes from all the parties in Uganda in that constituency because of who he is. Therefore, I would like to ask the family to be proud of who Abiriga is. Abiriga may have died poor, but you as a family, you have given a legacy to be proud of in this country. My final thanks go to the staff of this parliament. Right Honorable Speaker, sometimes we forgot these people whom we call very little, and we think we should thank the big ones. But it's these little people who actually make us to be big. Because if the little ones are not there, then there will be no big ones. The staff of this parliament, represented by the Speaker by the clerk, and down on earth, on the site, represented by one called Watua, helped us to organize this man's funeral up to this extent. Those simple policemen, the constables, the officers who work in this parliament, all of them were there, and they are still there. And they are still telling us they will be there in Irano camp, and they will be there in Arua. We want to thank all of you. My last message. Tonight, Honorable Colonel Ibrahim Abiriga has shown us the importance of unity in diversity. He has shown us that we can, in spite of our political differences, live together. We can grow this country to higher levels even if we have different political ideologies. I want us to start living that. I want us to abandon the element of wishing each other death, destroying life, but rather use our differences to live together. To the people of West Nile, our condolences as members of parliament from West Nile. We were 31, we have lost one. Soon after, we shall replace. With God's support, we shall replace and shall go back to 31. Abiriga was a very instrumental member of our caucus, and I'm sure that we shall learn from him. Like he has brought the nation together, his death will bring this caucus of West Nile together. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Musi. And I want to announce the presence of Honorable Milton Muma in the gallery. Honorable Samuel Semugaba, you're welcome. Then after Honorable Musi, we shall have Kamateka Lamwaka, then we'll come here, then I come this side. Yes, this region.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members. Right Honorable Speaker, when a tree is still standing, you cannot accurately tell its height, not until it has fallen. That's when you can know whether it is long or short. And the presence of the members of parliament and the gallery being full, and also the national debate over the death of our colleague Honorable Abiriga tells you how tall Honorable Abiriga was. And we want to thank God who gave him to us, and we thank Honorable Abiriga for the good work he was able to accomplish while still on earth. I would like, on behalf of my constituency, and indeed the people of Chigezi, to convey our condolences to the family, the constituency which you represented, Arua Municipality, the Muslim community, members of parliament, and indeed all Ugandans. We can speak a lot about Honorable Abiriga until cows come to rest. But he had grown a popularity of his own in the whole country. There are many people in Kanungu who used to approach me to ask Honorable Abiriga to come to Kanungu so that they see him. And in Kanungu, on many WhatsApp groups, if you are a diehard supporter of Honorable Abiriga, they would call you Abiriga. And they had also developed an Abiriga scale to measure your loyalty and commitment to your party, ranging from 1% to 100%, because they were measuring Honorable Abiriga at 100%. And people would be gauged on the Abiriga scale depending on how loyal you are to your party. So that's the influence of Abiriga in our politics, extending down to Kanungu in southwestern Uganda. And there are many people, especially young people, who used to come to parliament, not to see me as their member of parliament, but take photos with Honorable Abiriga. And they would feel very proud associating with him. So this is the man we are paying tribute to, and would want to thank him for the life and the time we spent in our parliament. The key question which keeps running in the minds of Ugandans is that why was Abiriga killed? A harmless, innocent, and honest person. If he was killed because of his political beliefs, then again it reminds us of the occupational hazards that we have as political leaders, that when you take a decision to join politics, then you should be prepared for three things: prison, exile, or death. This can occur all the time. Was he killed to intimidate members of parliament because of the decisions we make in this house? If yes, then the killers are wrong, because we shall not be shaken as members of parliament. We shall take decisions in this house which we think are good for this country. Definitely we are in a multi-party dispensation. We may disagree on issues, but all of us have views. So we want to urge Ugandans to promote a culture of tolerance. Even when our ideological dispositions are different, that should not be a reason to kill each other. We belong to the NRM, but we are friends with people in the opposition. So we would want a culture of tolerance, coexistence, even when ideologically we differ. And we would want to urge our security forces to hunt down whoever killed our colleague, Honorable Abiriga, until justice is seen to be done. Once again, I want to convey condolences to you, Madam Speaker, the rest of the House, and would want to comfort the family that God, who gave us Honorable Abiriga, will fill the gap that has been left by the demise of our colleague. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
No, Catherine Damwaka. Catherine, where are you? Catherine Damwaka, where are you seated? Okay, oh, there she is. Okay. Then Kamateka, then I come here.
Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to bring condolences from the people of Romoro District to the Parliament of Uganda, to the people of Uganda, the people of Arua District, Arua Municipality, and particularly to the family of our fallen colleague, Honorable Abiriga. Right Honorable Speaker, I bring condolences from the caucus of the former resident district commissioners of Uganda who are in this parliament, who served this country before joining this parliament, just like our fallen comrade, Honorable Abiriga, did. Madam Speaker, I am one of those who stayed dumbfounded on Friday evening on hearing about the death of our colleague, Honorable Abiriga, for quite some good minutes. Indeed, it is very true that that Honorable Abiriga, our late colleague, served the country very diligently. While he was resident district commissioner, Arua District, Yumbe District later, and later elected to come to this Parliament of Uganda. As caucus of resident district commissioners in this Parliament, I want to confirm the statements that was presented by the Right Honorable Prime Minister about our late comrade, Honorable Abiriga. The late served the country very diligently. The late was a very honest person. The late was a very patriotic cadre of this country. From the late Honorable Abiriga, many of us who served with him around the same time, we learned quite a lot. I recall very vividly when I was just appointed a resident district commissioner at the age of 23 for the first time. Honorable Abiriga sat me down out of his own initiative. He told me, Catherine, you have joined this service, but one thing I want to tell you is, leave your academic papers and qualification up there. Some of these jobs requires you to come down at the grassroots and be with the people. You're going to chair the district security committee, and for you to gather enough intelligence and perform as a district commissioner, you must be down to earth with the people.
Kamateka, then Mrs. Museveni, then Mutebi, then I go a bit this side, then I come back. Mutebi.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the motion to condemn the senseless and brutal murder of our colleague, Honorable Abiriga. Honorable Abiriga was on the Human Rights Committee of Parliament, and our first oversight visit was to the refugee settlements and detention centers in West Nile region. In Arua, at the police station, we found that 2 inmates had died under mysterious circumstances. One of them was alleged to have hung himself while he was in handcuffs. At Arua Central Prison, we found the usual overcrowding that undermines all the efforts that the prison services is trying to make in our detention centers. And we found inmates also who had torture marks. And of course, some of them put him aside as their member of parliament and gave him the details. And this is when Honorable Abiriga lost his cool. And he said, no, chairperson, how can we have a committee of human rights? We keep coming here and such things continue to happen. In their characteristic fashion, of course, the press reported that Abiriga threatened to beat up Kamateka, but this was not the case. This was a deeply caring man, a deeply caring leader, expressing pain at not being able to make impact in the lives of his people. And I wish to confirm that Honorable Abiriga and I maintained a cordial relationship. But that caring personality came out. What this also told us was that some of us, and also the local government leaders, they sit in their offices and do not check on the conditions of the government facilities in their areas of jurisdiction. Because Honorable Abiriga had just been RDC, and things could not have deteriorated so fast within 1 year. I'm not blaming, but I'm saying all of us should check on these facilities. I'd also like to urge the government to regard the recommendations that are made by the Uganda Human Rights Commission in their annual reports as very important. And we also pick these recommendations and make resolutions here in Parliament, and we would like to urge government to regard them seriously. We are told that compliance with these recommendations only stands at 48%. If we were regarding them seriously, we would have better security in the country, we would have better prisons services in our country. We would have a better police force.
Okay, Mrs. Museveni.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also stand to support this motion. Honorable Abiriga was a humble, blameless son of Uganda, a good servant of his people, a friend to so many whose life has been put to an end prematurely. And yes, we can add here many other good people, like Kagezi, like Kawesi, all good people, and others, all serving their nation with dedication, whose lives have been ended in the same merciless, brutal murders. What sign is this that we see? What trend is this? That serving one's country with passion and dedication is a crime? What is this message trying to tell Ugandans? That to serve your country with love is a crime? Honorable Abiriga, spread love, understanding, and goodwill right from Arua to Kampala. His actions, his speeches, his work always portrayed love and jokes and laughter, even with children. Therefore, indeed, all Ugandans loved him, as others have said, across the whole country. And they now all are in shock and they mourn him. But that among the same people, that there are those who could have the capacity to hate Honorable Abiriga so much to the extent of mercilessly murdering him in cold blood, clearly shows us that the direction we're taking is regrettable. And I can't stop hoping that indeed his death really becomes the mirror that all of us will now hold to ourselves, to search our hearts and ask ourselves the questions whether our daily work, our speech, in any way could have contributed anything to this hatred that is bringing these merciless murders in our country. While Honorable Abiriga spread love and understanding, there are many of us who spread hatred and poisonous stories that truly poison large sections of our society. In time, that poison boils and spills over as lava from a volcano, and it runs through communities, destroying everything in its way. That is how we get people who may not even have known Abiriga as a person, but they knew him in yellow, they knew his desires to serve his country and the party he serves with dedication, and they become so inspired to just kill him in such a way because of that, because of really giving himself so completely to serve his people and his country? Is it possible that that is why our countries have remained backward for generations? Do we inspire hatred so much that there is no room for making a critical departure from our crippling past? Would we rather destroy the attempt to develop our backward communities so that we go back to square one? So that our children find the same chaos we found? I pray that this evil act of murder of Honorable Abiriga really poses these critical questions for all of us at this time to find answers. We should not and cannot ignore the needless pain that this murder causes to the family of Honorable Abiriga, but also to the extended family of Ugandans who loved him. And you have heard many people say how they loved him. Across the country, not just in Kampala, not just in Arua, but in this country, people loved him because he showed a unique character. He was Ugandan, and he wanted to serve Ugandans. It didn't matter whether they loved him or hated him. Abiriga just loved Ugandans and wanted to serve. While it may be easy to blame government, and it's okay to blame government because they have has the responsibility to protect the people. We can blame it for what it may have done or not done. But we must remember, all of us, as we sit in this house, that we all have the responsibility of building this country and leading our people in the direction they ought to go. May God rest Honorable Abiriga in eternal peace.
Una Mutebi and then Riga Nokumu. Vijuke, Anywa, I'll get you. Mutebi and then
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity you have given me to place on record my condolences on behalf of the people of East House constituency.
Order, please.
But most importantly, the West Nile community, which forms the biggest component of people coming outside Uganda. It is a very, very sad moment for this country to gather here and pay respects to one of the most honest, a man of humility, and a person committed to serve this country and its people. Last Wednesday, at around 2 o'clock, we extended the light moments with the late Honorable Abiriga, together with Honorable Mwijuche, just in the lounge there. And we had the last handshake. Little did we know that that was the last time we were going to share with Honorable Abiriga. A lot has been said about him, but I want just to concentrate on one aspect, the peace-loving Colonel Abiriga. At a very tender age, he chose to serve his country in the armed forces and later in the liberation struggle. Very many people are asking themselves why Abiriga cherished the movement so much, but it is because he saw the bad times in Uganda and also witnessed the goodness of this country under the NRM administration. He cherished that peace to the extent that he could not want to see it vanish, as it has almost vanished, to see his life perish the way it has perished. Last November, when this parliament almost went to war, I told Honorable Abiriga that we need to do something today to save this parliament from going to war. But Abiriga said, when these people see me at the front, maybe things will get worse. He chose to sit down there. And I stood there pleading with members to avoid this parliament going into flames. Honorable members, let's have all our political arguments as we want, but let's stand together and protect this peace. We may even fail to get down here. The kind of public statements we make are provoking anger and hate. We are continuously.
Half a minute to conclude that.
We are continuously sounding war drums as if this country has no tomorrow. Even at the point of death, some people are sending messages that are derogatory on the public media. There is no amount of disagreement that can enable all of us to treat any other like an enemy. We can have any kind of disagreement, but we cannot afford to be enemies. We can achieve a lot together. Let's not sit here for the sake of the public to see, but let's agree that we pursue the cause of peace in this country. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Regan Okumu. Regan Okumu first. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also stand to associate myself with the movers and seconders of the motion and with all those positive sentiments. Madam Speaker, I admired the late Colonel Abiriga out of principle. He's NRM. He identifies himself as NRM. He does not hide. Whether you meet the two of you, he will tell you that I am NRM. And I believe in the president. He loved the president. He loved his party. He loved northern Uganda. He loved West Nile. And he loved his religion. Those are the 5 things I learned from him. And for me, I would always respect people who respect themselves by being principles, but not hypocrites. If you belong to a political party, belong to it. We can disagree on issues, but I will hold you with respect. And that's the relationship I had with the Honorable Abiriga. He was very instrumental in supporting us in our local government accounts committee. He is not a member, but will come up. And that's why we send a message. I think most of our members of local government accounts committee came, at least to give their final respect. And really, at a time like this, we talk because we want to learn lessons. I want to request our politicians, please save this country by being principled. Because that's where the problem is coming. You belong to another party, in the night you're a different person, in the morning you're a different person, and you are causing us confusion in this country. Be what you are, but be objective. That's the only way we can move this country forward. I think people who did not, and who up to now do not understand Abiriga, because they understood him from far, they never had a close interaction. And that's where we always get our problem. If you don't get closer to somebody, you will fail to understand that person. If you just hear and see what that person does. And somebody similar to Honorable Abiriga to a great extent in this house is the Honorable Otafire. You can misunderstand him for what he says, but I think he means well. He means well. He calls a spade a spade. He can say any statement, but he means well. And that is what he is. And that is where we should be. Finally, Madam Speaker.
Order.
Madam Speaker, I think the greatest problem we...
No. Okay, please conclude. Conclude.
Madam Speaker, my biggest worry is our security. What we see here are things that enter statistics, enter newspapers. Outside there, similar things are happening. What is wrong with our security organizations? As members of parliament, we should ask this. There's confusion, there's internal rivalry, there's fight over resources, and people are not serious. How dare you recruit people in a community policing, thousands of them, give them guns, you don't train them, you don't give them money, and tomorrow you lay them off? How can you recruit borders and you give them money purely for political reasons? Have our security people become politicians and they recruit those towards elections? Why? That's where the problem is, and we should go back to the drawing board. It does not select when it comes to things like this. Whether you're yellow, whether you're blue, whether you're what, it will catch up with you, either on a highway or at your residence or anywhere. For me, always, Madam Speaker, as I conclude, what wakes me up are sirens. Sirens escorting some political leaders, some ministers. That is an indication that the country is not well. The law only allows a few people to be escorted. But in this house, how many people are escorted? With sirens, with lead cars, all over the country. What message are we sending to the community? That things are impossible? That we cannot live as ministers and have one policeman to escort us? Must we have guards ahead and behind escorting us? What message do we send to this country? We must stop this, and I want to appeal to government that we should all join hands and restore hope and security for our people, right from the grassroots up to State House, so that everybody is secure, not only the few who are escorted. May the soul of Colonel Abiriga rest in peace. I thank you.
Mwijuke Anywa Asiku, then I come to the middle. After him.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, the big numbers here show two things. One, whereas we would see Honorable Abiriga as somebody who was good to all of us, but we should also look at the other angle, that it is a concern, that we are concerned about security in this country. Most of us came running to be in parliament because of the concern. He is a member of parliament. But there are very many people who are dying every day and they are not being talked about. We are concerned about not just our security, but the security of Ugandans. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Abiriga has been talked about as a patriot, honest man, very loyal. I hope that patriotism will be reflected in how we care for his children. I hope the children are going to benefit from that patriotism of the father. They will not go and suffer because Abiriga has gone. Right Honorable Speaker, here talks of these are idiots, these are cowards, these killers. If we are going to continue being killed by idiots and just cowards, then we are not serious. We are not serious. We must realize that this is a very serious matter and we stop political comedy. These cannot be cowards. These cannot be just idiots. They are serious killers.
Order.
If I was shot tomorrow, they will say after all
Anywa Asiku, then we go to Baseke. Thank you.
I'm coming. Let me finish this side. I'm coming.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm here to support the motion to pay tribute to our fallen brother Abiriga. Madam Speaker, bring condolences from the people of Kitgum Municipality and on my own behalf to the family of the late Honorable Abiriga, to His Excellency the President, the party president for NRM and the members, Right Honorable Speaker, you and the House and the people of West Nile and the country at large. Right Honorable Speaker, I just want to thank members of Parliament for turning up in such a number to give testimony that Honorable Abiriga was indeed a friend across the board. And I particularly want to thank Honorable Oscar Omon, who has just left his hospital bed when he got an accident. His members are still in the hospital, but he had to come here to be with us. Right Honorable Speaker, so much has been said, but dear Ugandans, we are here mourning. And we as leaders of this country, the whole country is looking at us. What we say here sends a message. One, to the family of the late Abiriga. The widow and the children are here. We are here to console them. We are not here to add salt in the wound. Two, as a country, we have this bad happening. The message we send out there must be a tone. A, to enable the security people do their work.
Under Asiku?
Thank you.
And Vaseke? Vaseke Karuya. We are with Honorable Asiku now. I'll come down. I will come. Let me finish with this side.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I had the benefit to be with Abiriga as a friend for a very long time. Abiriga is a nationalist. Abiriga is a freedom fighter. Abiriga loves people. Abiriga is a God-fearing person. I have not put on my medal as a freedom fighter for a long time, except today, when we are commemorating the loss of our dear brother, colleague, Honorable Abiriga. Abiriga speaks from his heart. Whatever he does comes from his heart. I am very happy that his life has impacted on many of us. Mine is a humble request to all of us here as legislators. We have a key role.
Vaseke, Karuya.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker, in the interest of time, I will not repeat whatever they have said about Abiriga. On Wednesday, I chatted with Abiriga, and we had plans for July. But today we are here mourning him. Madam Speaker, when you look around what is happening in the country, none of us is safe. As we mourn our beloved brother Abiriga, I ask honorable members, let's pray to God to heal our nation, Uganda, and protect all of us from the evil that has befallen this country. Madam Speaker, Abiriga thought he would be alive today, but he's not alive. May his soul rest in peace, and may the King of Glory strengthen all of us and the family in this trying moment. I thank you.
Karuya. Then I think Tinka Simire, he was fully engaged in the management.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker.
Okay, I'll get a few people here.
On a day like today, it is really difficult for someone to catch your eye. But I'm really lucky that I've caught your eye today. Right Honorable Speaker, we are here to bid farewell to our dear brother, Honorable Abiriga, who was murdered in one of the worst ways that anyone can imagine. Right Honorable Speaker, I don't want to talk so much about Abiriga because a lot has already been said. And since we have just 2 minutes, I will only say that Abiriga has been a man worth relating with. Right Honorable Speaker, the matter at hand is not just Abiriga's death. It is simply a message. It is a message to this country and its leadership. Right Honorable Speaker, I happened to attend one of the caucuses of NRM, and His Excellency the President assured honorable members of Parliament that it was not difficult to provide security for members of Parliament. If we ask that question right now whether his statement was true, I leave the answer for another day. Right Honorable Speaker, when this incident happened, I was in the constituency. When they called me, it was a call from one of my relatives, and he was asking whether Abiriga was actually dead. I didn't have the answer at that time. But another call that came, Right Honorable Speaker, I happened to drive a yellow car, and the message was that Andrew. 1 minute. This is a serious message.
Okay, half a minute to conclude. Half a minute.
Right Honorable Speaker, the issue of members of Parliament's security is not something we are going to joke about. We should find a solution either for members of Parliament and the country at large, or we find the big solution to the bigger problem. There is a bigger problem in this country that we are merely dilly-dallying around. So what we need to do, let us find a way of addressing those problems so that the community or Ugandans at large can come down and regain their hope in this nation. Thank you very much.
Onatinka Simire, then Oula, Speranza, then Jacqueline, then I come this side and then the last one here. I'll come. The final round will be here.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. My condolences to the people of West Nile and the family. I also bring condolences from the people of Bunyoro and all members of Parliament from Bunyoro sub-region. Honorable Abiriga carried a principle that I share, that is being honest. And we loved one another.
Order.
We loved one another.
Order members.
because most of the time when he wanted to do any serious transaction, he would call me and ask me, don't you think here they are about to cheat me? When I decided to go to West Nile to do business in West Nile, it is Honorable Abiriga who said, I can get you a person who cannot cheat you to sell you property. Don't ask me which business.
Order, I think it was Oula, then Speranza, Jacqueline, then I come this side and close here.
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to send my sympathy and condolence to the family of the late Ibrahim Abiriga. Right Honorable Speaker, I met Ibrahim Abiriga in 1989. At that time, we were deployed in the same unit, that is 7th Division, based in Fort Portal. And from that time, I became close to him. In one of the meetings that we had in that division, we were talking about welfare of the soldiers. At that time, you remember, the government was still young and the economy was bad and the welfare of the troops were bad. Then in the meeting, Abiriga came up with a brilliant decision and said, we have a lot of land where we are. Why don't we engage in production, in agriculture, so that we can individually alleviate the fate of our soldiers? We can be able to work on their welfare. So Abiriga was immediately appointed to be the production officer of the division. In a short time, for about 3 months, Abiriga turns things around. He produced about 10 trucks of cabbages. And we had a lot of cows in the division, which we could even feed the children of soldiers. That was Abiriga. Abiriga, who is lying down here, believed in what he loved. He loved really what he believed in. The first thing he believed in was his religion, his Islamic faith. Abiriga would pray 5 times. When I was with him, he would pray 5 times.
Okay, just half a minute to conclude.
He would pray 5 times. There are times when I would be in a difficult situation with Abiriga, and we would not even know, we are not sure even when we shall have the next meal. He would continue fasting. He would say, let me fast because God that created us will give us what to eat. That is Abiriga. He believed in his kids. Those kids you are seeing there, those 2 kids, whenever Abiriga would come into parliament, most of the time I would find him with the kids in the car. I don't know what happened that day when he didn't come with the kids, because all the time the kids were in the car. But it is God's love, God's will that the kids were not with him. They would have even killed the kids. Honorable Abiriga, blessing and eternal.
No, Speranza, then Jacqueline.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, on behalf of Kenjojo District and on my own behalf,
I'm coming now.
I stand to mourn a patriot. We had a patriot in Honorable Abiriga because he loved himself, he loved everyone around him regardless of the different lines of thinking. He loved his party and he loved his country. And this is a clear example of a patriot. I was particularly saddened by the fact that we spent most of Friday with Honorable Abiriga in the meeting of pensions. And we even shared a very light moment with Honorable Abiriga as we were taking a group picture, and we sang and clapped for him. And I remember even shouting on top of my voice, reminding the cameraman to particularly capture his thumbs up sign pose. And this was very saddening to me, because that is the last time we met, and a few hours after that, I heard on radio, Honorable Abiriga was no more. Today, as we eulogize Honorable Abiriga, we've had a lot of incidents of such a kind in this country, and we have not got an explanation. And what is most disheartening is the fact that these incidents are continuing to happen. We have a lot that is being posted on social media. Unfortunately, some of these very negative posts are coming from some of the members of this House. Very unfortunate. We wouldn't want to propagate more hatred, but surely let us look at ourselves, scrutinize our...
Okay, half a minute to conclude.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. My appeal is to Ministry of Security and even Information and Communications, because really we have registered our telephones. I don't see why such people cannot be brought to book, because people out there are continuing to be robbed using telephone numbers that have been registered, and nothing is being done. Would like to know what is not happening right, and then put measures to rectify whatever is leading us this direction. And lastly, Madam Speaker, we've heard about Honorable Abiriga's family. Very few people go back to families after such a death. But kindly, he has left behind 9 children. I want to thank those who have sent in their condolence contributions, but please let us look at Abiriga's family, so that even as they cry out of the loss of their family head, they do not also cry for missing or failing to get the basic needs in that family.
As I invite Honorable Jacqueline, honorable members, during the budget debate, there were issues raised speaking to the country about how we should behave. It is silent. Honorable Jacqueline, then Zake, Lily, Awol, then I come this side.
I also stand here to support the motion and to condole with the family of the late Kano Honorable Abiriga. On behalf of the people of Shema and also on behalf of this parliament, many things have been said about the Honorable Abiriga, his principles, honesty, and many things. But for me, my concern is about the security, which everybody has talked about. Some security organs like ISO, CMI are ill-funded. In fact, I was discussing with somebody yesterday that even when Honorable Abiriga was killed, the ISO on the ground near Kawanda did not even have motorcycles to go and see what was happening. This is very sad. And a supplementary budget was brought in this parliament, and you honorable members chased it away. And now they are talking about the issue of ADF and all these things. If we don't fund the security organs for them to be able to do their work properly, and we are still talking about security.
Order.
I think this is something that we need to look into and see that they are funded so that they can do their work properly and then investigate cases that are supposed to be investigated. Honorable Abiriga, I wish you a safe journey where you are going. We will all find you there. And to the family, we condole with you and we pray that God will comfort you. May the soul of the deceased Abiriga rest in peace.
Honorable Adong, and then Awol, then I move this side. I'm coming now.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker.
Order.
Madam Speaker, it is so sad that when colleagues...
Order, please, order.
They speak the truth, and the fellow colleagues start murmuring. It's so sad. This is truth. It is very sad that we've lost one of our members in a very brutal manner. I'm here to represent, there's so many voices out there, especially the majority of the Ugandans, and those are the youths. I'm a member of parliament for Mityana municipality, and so many things have been going on. This majority of Ugandans are looking on. There are so many things happening in terms of security. So many killings, but nothing is done. And maybe we are being so hopeful in the current regime in that nothing they can do. Right Honorable Speaker, let us not expect people of the previous generations to handle problems of the current situation. Let us not just speak about matters, but let us come out with solutions. Right Honorable Speaker, whatsoever is going to come out of whatsoever happening these days, it's going to be brutal. One time, I myself, I was a culprit of beatings of the unknown people in this house, and you murmured the same way. But I'm telling you, this can happen to any of us here. I say the same thing here, you murmured in the same way, and this is what is happening. Let us be serious. Let us come out with various solutions to end these killings. If not, so something can happen. It is very sad. Honorable Abiriga has gone. He has been a friend. He has been so honest.
Lily Adong, very quickly. Lily, Akero, and then Awar, then I come this side. I'm coming now this side.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity.
Order.
Allow me add my voice in paying tribute to a colleague. I was one of the few members of parliament who had a light moment on Friday with the Honorable. I remember he came just at the time when we were about to take the photo. And as he arrived, everyone got excited as usual, and we invited him, and we waited for him until we took the picture. And when I reached home that Friday late, just before I could sit, my sister tells me, there's breaking news, Honorable Abiriga has died. I said, that is not true. I've just seen him today. Well, the message was confirmed. My message to the family, you will hear a lot of things, negative and positive. But my request to you is, take in the positive things that you love about your father, your husband, and the person that you know of Abiriga. That is all that you should take in, and that should be your consolation. Madam Speaker, even as we mourn today, I am forced to reflect on our first stanza of our anthem, O Uganda. We know the rest. Let us reflect on that stanza. And finally, Madam Speaker, I have a very big burden that I have been carrying for so many months. I had a dream about the members of parliament. Well, you may take this as a joke. Take it as a joke, but I'm going to tell you this. I had a dream about members of parliament who were involved, it was not very clear, but like involved in a very bad accident. The next day, the first member of parliament was involved in a tragic accident. It didn't, no, I am not a prophet. The next accident happened, and the last one was Honorable Omoy. And the final one is now our colleague here. I am not a prophet of doom, but for me, I feel this is a burden to me. I feel God was showing me something, and I have not done enough. But the burden is on us. Take it or leave it. The burden is on us. For those of us who believe, let us believe. For those of us who don't believe, Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for year in, year out, holding a prayer meeting in Parliament before we start our session. Let us go back to our roots. Let's go back and really plead to our God. Let us go back and plead to our God. I thank you, honorable members. For those who have listened, may God bless you. Rest in peace, our plug.
Award followed by Honorable Ramirama, Echweru, Amongi, then I go back there.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
After her, I'm coming this
on
side.
Behalf of,
yes, I've got you.
On behalf of the people of Gulu District, I would like to convey our heartfelt condolence to the family. Right, Honorable Speaker. I just want to first speak about generosity. Other than emphasizing that on Friday, that faithful Friday, we were together in the conference hall on parliamentary pension schemes workshop. It was a very wonderful workshop. And he was so close, they were talking very closely with Honorable Sesikubu. I wanted to go near him, but I just said, those people are speaking something, let them speak. And they all went out together. Honorable Speaker, I came close to Honorable Abiriga when I actually did not like him at first, but when I came close to him and we share like elders, he told me about his passion for His Excellency, the President of Uganda, how he rescued him when he was stuck. And even when the President wanted to deploy him everywhere, people just said no, no. Until when he pushed him on the people of Arua, RDC Arua. And he told the people of Arua, leave him to me. And that was how he worked with the President, and that is why he loved him so much. Yes, one good turn deserves another. From that time I said, yes, I now know. If he was a pope, you would be his cardinal. And if he was God, you would be his pope. So I congratulated him and I said, now I give you a big tick. A lot of us are not very close to our drivers. Honorable Abiriga is down to earth. He interacts with the drivers. He actually greets them. When we pass on foot, we just move without even greeting them. And he greets them. And if he gets to know that some of them have not taken lunch, he is very generous. He donates. He gives them.
Honorable Ramirama, Echweru, Amongi, then I go to I'll start there. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support the motion, pay tribute to my foreign comrade, Honorable Kano Ibrahim Abiriga. Madam Speaker, condolences to the family and the bereaved families. Madam Speaker, I condemn the act of these murderers, and I think we should all condemn what they have done and invest in stopping it. Madam Speaker, Honorable Abiriga has done a lot to this country, has been a statesman, a freedom fighter, and has died a honorable member. But there are many things that we need to address as leaders. The first one, Madam Speaker, is the way we talk. I've seen very good postings, but I've seen the very ugly postings. Madam Speaker, it is very sad that when we lose people like Honorable Abiriga, you have some people who celebrate and actually post those postings. Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, the government has a responsibility to protect citizens and their property. But we need to be very vigilant. The security agencies and whoever is involved in investigation, they need information. Madam Speaker, if you don't have information, is a tall order to apprehend criminals. I want to salute some people who are very vigilant, because on that very scene, there are some few people who recorded what was taking place. Madam Speaker, we in the defense, we are taking these matters very, very, very seriously. And I want to assure members that of late you have seen the involvement of CMI and other agencies working together, bring this fracas to an end. I pray that all leaders here cooperate in availing information and also to encourage citizens to give information to the investigators. Honorable Abiriga, my comrade, rest in peace, and we shall find you there. Thank you.
Honorable Echweru, Amongi, Barieku, Oscar, Watongola.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
Let's start with those for now.
I rise to pay my respect, my last respect to a colleague. Madam Speaker, just on Thursday morning, I was expecting visitors in my humble office, only to be told by my secretary that Honorable Abiriga was waiting for me out. I stayed the meeting of the other visitors and asked the secretary to usher him in. Usually before he comes, he would have made a call that I want to come and discuss with you something to do with the Arua municipality. This time he didn't call. And when I ushered him in the office, he told me there was nothing important bringing him, but to greet me because it had been long. There was nothing important that was bringing him to my office this time. He had just come to greet me because it had been long. And we exchanged pleasantries, and I bid him bye, and then we met now in the State of the Nation. And as a colleague, I don't know what that means. We have been resident as commissioners. Members have described him as very honest, and I confirm that. My description, I will leave it to other members also. But Madam Speaker, what informs Abiriga's way of doing things is exile. And I want to share this with those of you who may never been to exile. Abiriga suffered in exile. Abiriga was traumatized in exile. Abiriga was humiliated in exile. Abiriga promised that as long as he lives, no group of people in this country should be forced to exile again. No group should be forced to exile again. And as long as he lives, he wanted to die in his country. That is Abiriga. Why did he love Museveni so much as a president? Madam Speaker, in Abiriga, he saw President Museveni as the only cement that holds this country together. His love for him was he felt Museveni holds the country together. And he used to talk about it. He said, in the event that this man, whenever we chatted, he would not even call him president. In the event that this man goes, Mr. Churu, do you know that we can easily run into problems again? That is what informed his way of loving President Museveni as a person. And for that reason, loving the party that President Museveni chaired. Madam Speaker, can we resolve here and now that whatever it takes, we may have differences, but let us not create any situation that can drive any group of people to exile. Let's not create any situation. And those who may have killed this gallant man for demonstrating what he believed in, and I want also to say to my NRM people, Abiriga did a lot for NRM, loved NRM, was diligent to NRM, but did not have any sense of entitlement. There are many of us in NRM, you do a small thing, you think you should now be treated as a special person. You think you should be treated as a special person. There are many of us in NRM who have accumulated unnecessary wealth because we think we are entitled. We think we are entitled. We think we are entitled. Abiriga did what he has done what he has done, but remained humble and only did what he had. It is until we need to humble ourselves. We as NRM, we need to humble ourselves. If we keep this sense of entitlement, we will ruin the country. We will ruin the country. And in laying Abiriga to rest, we must emulate what Abiriga. People can say anything that he was what he was because he believed in what he believed in. Madam Speaker, this country must never be allowed to degenerate. We should all stand together and make sure that we move as one country. May the soul of the rest in eternal peace.
Honorable Mongi, followed by Honorable Barieku, then Oscar, Watongola, Ababiku, Kefa. That group first, then I come to the other line.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I interacted with Honorable Abiriga maybe on two issues. The first issue was when Honorable Abiriga led a delegation of the sheikhs from Arua to come to my office because the mosque, the land where the mosque in Arua is situated, had a title which the district land board had issued to someone, a private person, and yet the mosque and the land belong to the mosque. He came 3 times to my office, and the last time was 3 weeks ago, again when he came with the mayor and a team. And that is when I knew, Madam Speaker, that Honorable Abiriga, as a member of parliament, was somebody who was very meticulous on issues to do with this constituency. There are many times that members of parliament would have issues in their constituency, but you come and hear it from the floor of parliament. But Honorable Abiriga, like the Right Honorable Prime Minister stated and Honorable Echwero stated, would walk to the offices of the ministers to try and ask ministers to solve the problem in his constituency. The second time I interacted with Honorable Abiriga was about 2 weeks ago again, when he came to my office to assure me and told me that you are 3 people, senior ministers from the north. Yourself, Honorable Ilaronek, and General Moses Ali. I have come here to tell you, I will stand with you, we shall stand with you, and Honorable Abiriga put me on phone with one of the opposition members in West Nile. I want to inform Honorable Nandala, in my office, Honorable Abiriga put me on phone with one Honorable MP opposition from West Nile on that matter. So Honorable Abiriga was somebody which I want to agree with Honorable Regan Okumu, that stood firm, that knew that he needed to support people from northern region, like Honorable Okumu said. But I want to conclude by saying, as a Catholic, we have just celebrated martyrdom. Honorable Abiriga has died a martyr. And in this world, martyrdom, when somebody dies for their cause, history shows that the cause does not die. I want to ask members of parliament that Honorable Abiriga has died for his cause. Let the people who have remained not be blackmailed, not be intimidated. Let us continue where he has left. Rest in peace, Honorable Abiriga.
Honorable Barieku, then Oscar. After that, we shall have Honorable Watongola, Babiku, Kefa. Then I'll come to the second line.
Thank you.
After that, I'm coming back.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The last one will be the side.
On behalf of the people of Jinja West Municipality and on behalf of the Busoga Parliamentary Group and on behalf of the Muslims in Jinja and on my behalf, Madam Speaker, I want to extend our condolences to both the families of Undugu Abiriga and the family of the bodyguard. Many of us have not been talking about the bodyguard, but this is one person also who is a clear signal to all of us in this house who have drivers and bodyguards that these are people who die for us and we should treat them very well. Madam Speaker, on my side in NRM, Honorable Abiriga has demonstrated true ideology, true love for the NRM party. And we should not be weakened by his assassination, but be strengthened to believe in what we think is right. To the members of parliament in this house, it is very important that both of us, we know that in this house we are not permanent. If you look at the pictures of the first parliaments up to the 7th parliaments, you will see that there are different faces. And we are not here as permanent people, but we are here as seasoned people. But an attack on Abiriga is an attack on the Parliament of Uganda. An attack on the Parliament of Uganda is an attack on the country. We cannot sit here and keep watching these things happening. Madam Speaker, it is high time we put up a committee as Parliament to look at the security of this country. And then this committee, people out there have a lot of information to give. They cannot approach the security agencies. Let this committee be instituted for the public to give information and we can share with the security agencies. It would help us to get more information which is in the public domain, which will help us as Parliament to know that the people of Uganda, Parliament, we are doing something. We can't keep asking for a statement from government to come and give us the situation in the country. Madam Speaker, choose members in this House. Let there be a small committee of members to look into matters of security in this country. To the assassins of Honorable Abiriga, this man was fasting. He was going to break his fast. It is the month of Ramadan. And you don't even have the passion to know that this is the holy month of a Muslim person like Honorable Abiriga. And you still assassinate him.
Half a minute to conclude.
In the eyes of God, the people who assassinated Honorable Abiriga, we are sure they are watching. The country we are living in today, Abiriga was a friend to everybody. And our tears will not dry for the death of Abiriga in vain. And we shall not rest as a country until we find justice. Madam Speaker, Abiriga was a friend of Uganda. And as Parliament, we shall greatly miss him. But let his death unite the opposition and the ruling side in terms of security. Let us be one team. For God and my country, may Abiriga rest in peace.
Una Oscar, and welcome. We are delighted to see you.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you for your prayers, members of Parliament. The person I'm going to talk about is not only a colleague, a father. He's a father to me. He's been my uncle to me, because Right Honorable Speaker, the people of West Nile, I share a very serious relationship with the people of West Nile. Right Honorable Speaker, the last time I met, I was with Honorable Abiriga. We were outside on Thursday chatting. The last thing I remember, Uncle Abiriga telling me, he seemed a bit disturbed. He told me, my son, I am broke. But I told him, my uncle, if I had some money, I would give you, but right now things are not okay. I left for Gulu on Friday. And when I was coming back on Monday, that's when we got this accident. This UNRWA vehicle came, left his lane, and drove direct to us and knocked us. I thank God, because if it wasn't for him, I would have been here. Right Honorable Speaker, what I learned from the late Honorable Abiriga is honesty. Humility takes us places. Honorable Abiriga was so honest that I remember when we were a bit close on the issues of age limit. If you told Abiriga an MP said something that is not with what he wanted, he would go straight to that MP and say, Oscar said this and this. That is how honest Abiriga was. You not lie, you not tell a lie. Right, Honorable Speaker.
To conclude.
These cowards that have taken Honorable Abiriga, the good Lord will pay them. And their time will come. We have lost, as a youth of Northern Uganda, a father and an uncle. Honorable Abiriga, rest in peace. And I know I'll not be there because I cannot make it. But I remember you said you are broke. I will do my personal contribution to your family of 2 million shillings. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Watu Angora Babiku, Kefa. Then I go Angura, Gureme there. I'll come back down.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Right Honorable Speaker, I bring condolences from the people and the Muslim community of Kamuli Municipality and Busoga at large. Right Honorable Speaker, on Friday, as some of my colleagues have already mentioned, we saw Honorable Abiriga. Actually, we had our last minute with Honorable Abiriga at around 2 p.m. Honorable Abiriga joined us in a group photo whereby the facilitator requested all the members to take a photo about the pension scheme. Right Honorable Speaker, the facilitator was emphasizing a point of the members of Parliament for not adhering to the beneficiaries to submit beneficiaries to the pension office. She was still emphasizing that amongst members of Parliament, at least the women are very active in submitting their beneficiaries. And she gave us a story that we get problems when male members of Parliament pass on, not knowing that that same day, Honorable Abiriga is going to pass on. Right Honorable Speaker and members, some members and some people outside are jubilating and celebrating because of the death of Honorable Abiriga, just because simply he accepted to amend the Constitutional Article 102. But remember, where Abiriga is, we shall. Where he was, we are. So let us celebrate the death of Honorable Abiriga.
Honor Ababiku, then Kefa, then Angura, Gureme, Arinda, Najuma.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Right Honorable Speaker, condolences message from the people of Madisab region, which is part of West Nile. We received a message with a lot of shock. We are still in the shock. The late was the golden asset we had for West Nile. As he's lying here, our lead flag in support of this country has been lowered. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, he was so nationalistic and patriotic. And we, the people of West Nile, we love the peace, we love the security. So whatever he was doing, he did it on behalf of people of West Nile. Therefore, his death has robbed us, has robbed this country. Right Honorable Speaker, on the issue of the security of this country, if people could be killed Those who had guns without even defending themselves by shooting one bullet. Right Honorable Speaker, the issue of the security of this country is so big. To me, we cannot underrate it. Right Honorable Speaker, we are representatives of our people. If we cannot say it somewhere, Right Honorable Speaker, convene and we sit. As we sit here, we cannot bury our heads that we are stable. Many people have died without defending themselves. Right Honorable Speaker, therefore we cannot bury the security situation in this country.
Kefa, Angura, Bureme, Arinda, Najuma, Chair of Internal Affairs, Baba, then I come to say it.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. On my own behalf and on behalf of the people of Chiboga, I'd like to express my condolences to the family of our colleague, also to the NRM family and all the peace-loving Ugandans. I also like to very much thank my fellow honorable members for turning up in such big numbers. I think this demonstrates a lot of solidarity, and it's a sign that when somebody does good, you take note. Yes, he was a honest man, very principled, straightforward, very jovial, kind, and a national celebrity as a result of his brand as an NRM. I had the honor earlier this year in February to welcome him in Chiboga to a thunderous welcome. And actually right now the people of Chiboga probably are more concerned about, as a result of his death, are more concerned about our security, probably more than I myself may be concerned. Now, my most important point I'd like to make, Madam Speaker, is that events like this are often defining moments in the history of a country. But unfortunately, Madam Speaker, I've been following the presentations right from the death of our colleague, but I've not had that something signaling a radical transformation in the security of our country and around how security is managed in this country. Madam Speaker, Honorable Abiriga for some time complained that there are people following me. The capability of a security system is in its ability to foil threat. It's surprising.
No.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I also bring condolences from the people of Tororo to the family of Honorable Abiriga and to us also here in Parliament. Yesterday in Tororo, we were burying a senior citizen, a former governor of this country by the names of Alex Award. And Madam Speaker, in that burial, the concern of many of the people who turned up for that burial shifted to the death of Abiriga. Everyone was taken up and was trying to find out what has happened, what is going on, and where are we headed to. And Madam Speaker, to us here as representatives of our people, I want to challenge us also to talk to our people. Security, whereas we might be blaming the government here and there, but security starts with us. Let our people be very vigilant to understand and know who is within their surrounding. We are told, maybe what we will have to confirm later, that these assassins actually went to that trading center 3 times and even bought sodas there. So if that is what happened, then maybe the vigilance among us and our people needs to be stepped up. Madam Speaker, Abiriga has started a journey today, which journey we shall all make. The only unfortunate thing is, how has this journey started? It has started in a very, very brutal way, which I think is not good for all of us. Finally, Madam Speaker,
I want to say that there are many conflicts that may be raging amongst us, amongst many of us in different ways. But there is no conflict that cannot be resolved. If Abiriga has gone because of an internal conflict here, an external conflict, wherever the conflict.
Honorable Arinda, Najuma, Chair, Baba, then I take to side.
Right Honorable Speaker, colleagues, on behalf of the people of Gomba West, and on behalf of my family and on my own behalf, permit me to pass on my profound condolences to the widow and family of the late Honorable Abiriga and to the nation as a whole. We condemn not only his killing, but the brutality, the brutal manner in which it was executed. It was severely callous. Honorable Abiriga loved his party to the dot, and he exhibited it. We mourn him as members of the NRM party. UCC should take this as a wake-up call. Numerous unfriendly and leading messages are often reported. For example, there was a message saying that Honorable Abiriga would die in the first week of June, and that was just ignored. Our phones are continuously being hacked into, our SIM cards duplicated, and colleagues and the general public continue to be duped and ripped of money, and the mobile phone network companies are just sitting and lying there. Border borders should be registered, zoned, and regulated. They have become notorious, and we see that this is the same style in which AIGP Kawesi was killed. We would also like to call upon people to respect scenes of crime, because they are often tampered with, and this leaves the police helpless when they come to do their investigations. Let us plug all the loopholes that we have and save our country and its people. Honorable Abiriga, rest in peace.
As I invite Honorable Arinda, honorable members, I have here a message sent on 24th June, 24th May, at 21:43 hours. Abiriga will die in the first week of June. This was sent in May. Honorable Arinda.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Allow me to bring condolences. Allow me to bring condolences from the people of Bushenyi Shaka Municipality. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker. I was with Abiriga on Friday, like most of the people were with him, and we left him in a very good way.
Order.
Right Honorable Speaker, the biggest challenge that we have currently in this country is the level of crime intelligence. Right Honorable Speaker, yesterday I had a meeting with the DPC in Bushenyi talking about crimes in the country, and he assured me that in the whole district of over 14 sub-counties, he just had 3 crime intelligence officers. Those are very thin on the ground. Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Internal Affairs needs to increase on the number of crime intelligence officers on the ground, because they are very thin and they can't do much. Right Honorable Speaker, much has been talked about our colleague, but as I conclude, I just have a song for him, and I want to sing for him as he goes to rest in peace. Woke up this morning, hear the news read, saying Abiriga is dead. Through the good times and the bad times, a good man had to go. Yes, I know we're gonna miss you. Yes, we do. Gonna miss you. You never know how much we loved you. Yes, we do. We loved you. Rest in peace, my brother.
Thank you. Now, Najuma, Chair Baba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Public service lands Mutu, then we have 3 this side. Then we have to close.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Then the area MP. Okay.
Honorable Speaker and members of Parliament, I bring condolence message from the people of Nakaseke. Honorable Speaker, I stay in Katalimwani, Yamatuga, and Honorable Abiriga used to stay in Chirinyabigo.
But on Friday evening, I received a call from a lady in Chirinyabigo informing me about the incident. I told her, are you drunk and you are in a bar? She told me, Sarah, I'm at the site. Abiriga has been gunned down. I called the Osi Watuba, and the Osi Watuba told me, Sarah, it is true, I'm at the site. I'm at the scene. Abiriga has been gunned down. I called Honorable Kahonda because we stay together in Katalemwa. Honorable Kahonda told me, Sarah, that is a lie. I've been with Abiriga today evening. I told Kahonda I'm on my way to the scene. When I reached the scene, I called Honorable Nabakova, the chairperson defense, and I called the chief whip. When I reached Chirinyabigo, all people were crying. The children were crying, the women were crying, even the border boys were there crying. And you'd think Chirinyabigo is in Arua. It's true, Abiriga was down on earth, was a man of the people. I'm a Muslim, and in Islam we believe that if someone dies in the month of Ramadan and the person has been doing good, he goes to Jannah. And I'm sure Abiriga is going to Jannah. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Then Baba.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Allow me to join the rest of the colleagues.
Okay.
To convey condolences from the people of Mitiana. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I happen to have had a chance to work with Abiriga for the last 2 years. Right Honorable Speaker, I've known Abiriga as a straightforward man, as a committed man who would stand for what he believed in. Even during committee deliberations, you would see Abiriga defending his government and NRM. Right Honorable Speaker, as NRM, we've lost a true cadre, somebody who would be there day and night, regardless of what was taking place. Right Honorable Speaker, I would request through you, this Parliament, to make a resolution for the ministers to come up with statements on what is taking place. They should be given a time frame to come and inform the public, inform this House of what is happening, what has been done, the arrests that have been made, so that it is a sign of reassurance that something is being done. Right Honorable Speaker, as we are mourning our colleague, Honorable Abiriga, members of the public, members of Parliament and members of the public are in fear. They are getting threats on their phones, SMS messages, via WhatsApp. Yesterday we had the Honorable from Luwero. Honorable Timatimba said got the same messages. People are threatening. We pray that the Minister of ICT would follow up these people who send and who call members of the public and members of Parliament, threatening them that breasts would be cut off, they will be killed in one way or
Right Honorable Speaker, the people of Koboko mourn with the people of Arua municipality and the country at large on the death of our colleague, Honorable Abiriga. There was absolutely no need to kill this innocent man who was always jovial, cheerful, and a fun lover. Absolutely no reason. But here is my concern, Right Honorable Speaker. The manner of the killing, the anger, the brutality, the hatred showed in the killing. I want to agree with Honorable Andrew, who said, what message is being sent? What is driving this manner of killing? It happened to Kawesi, AIGP, to the late Joan Kagezi, Major Kigundu, all full of anger, hatred, and absolute brutality. We as a nation must go into soul searching what is driving this anger in this country. Are there people hurting in this country? Are there people who are terribly disgruntled? Why must we not reach out and find out? I want to agree with the Right Honorable General Moses Ali. I think he was in the mosque this morning when he said the issue of security should not be only left to the security services, to the police, to the army. It should concern all of us, and I think we should take a cue from there. Lastly, I want to address this to my party, NRM. Abiriga was a brand name. He was a live, moving, mobile billboard for the party. Advertising it for free for all these years.
Half a minute to conclude.
He was advertising it for free. Somebody switched me off.
Half a minute.
All these years, Honorable Abiriga was a moving billboard for the party, for the government. Honorable Cheru said there are some people who do just something little and they are rewarded big. Why don't we reward the widow and the 9 children now that there's nobody to take care of them? I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mukasa, Musumba, Kamuntu, then I go this side.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people of Budiebo in Nakasongola, I wish to convey our condolences to the family and the people of Arua municipality at this tragic death of our colleague, Honorable Colonel Abiriga. Let me condemn this senseless murder of an innocent man. Right Honorable Speaker, I interacted with Honorable Abiriga long before he became a member of Parliament. And I found him to be a man with a passion for this country. He was always focused, and he never got tired of working for the security of West Nile, and generally the security of the country as a whole. He did this many times at great risk for his own personal life. We in Budiebo really miss him greatly, and the people of Migera town in Budiebo, he has been a darling. In just last week, when he was coming here, he promised the women vendors in Migera market that when he goes back, he will give them yellow t-shirts. But on top of that, he promised to contribute to their circle. But he always never missed a chance of encouraging them to work hard so that they could have incomes and also to be loyal to the government. Such is the man this terrible assassin has killed in cold blood. Right Honorable Speaker, I pray one day this assassin should pay for the act he has done. May the Lord rest Colonel Abiriga in eternal peace. Thank you.
Honorable Musumba, then Kamuntu, Atkins, Driwaru, Odria, and I'll take one more.
Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to say something about my friend, my elder brother, Honorable Colonel Abiriga. I did not know Abiriga until June 2016 when we met here. And at that time, we linked up at a time when we were trying to identify who will lead us in our legislative duties, and the kakuyege that was going on led me to meet Honorable Abiriga, to the extent that he eventually, when I had a function in July, which you, Madam Speaker, presided over, Abiriga actually came to Buzaya. On behalf of the people of Zaya, I want to extend our condolences. But I have two questions. Madam Speaker, the assassins who assassinated Honorable Abiriga, is their intention to break our spirit? Is it that we, the members of parliament, who identify with the billboard that Abiriga was, are to be afraid? Because, Madam Speaker, at the end of the day, what the peace and comfort we have been having in this country can actually be affected by the measures that the government may choose to put in place as a result of these very outrageous murders. We may be shooting ourselves in the foot, including the assassins, if the statement that to belong is to condemn oneself is going to be the statement of our day. Honorable Abiriga, you led a humble life. You died in the month of Ramadan on a Friday. May the good Lord reward you for all your labors.
Kamuntu, then Katusave, Driwaru, Dria.
Madam Speaker, I thank you. How I wish Honorable Abiriga would rise up from the coffin and see the respect this House has given him. On a Sunday, members of Parliament from Nimule to Kisoro, from Bundubujo to Muvuma, coming to pay respect for this great man. The country has lost. The country has really lost a great leader, a man who loved his country so dearly. He loved his people so profoundly. He loved his party with commitment. And he loved the president for the role and stability he has played in this country. We have lost him. Allow me to be personal, because Abiriga was a friend of many people. One day I was standing with him outside this parliament, right here outside, and Honorable Nambozi, unfortunately she's not here. Nambozi came in a cheeky manner, just removed Abiriga's hat. Then Abiriga looked at this lady and said, if I followed her and gave her a kick in her bum, they would accuse me of sexual harassment. We laughed. We just laughed. But he took it in good heart, and it didn't matter when most of us were really being shocked why there should be such an uncalled for provocation. The second time saw how a man with honest heart, one time he was put under pressure by the core of nature, and he eased himself outside designated areas, and he was taken to court. And in a very innocent heart, he admitted, he said, look, this KCC doesn't take care of planning, and I suffer from diabetes. I did what I did. And the judge fined him 40,000 shillings. We protested. Our protest was the judge should have really set this guy free because of his honesty. He didn't argue about it. And we teased him. We said, well, Abiriga, we can contribute the 40,000 you paid. This is how an open-minded person, a man with a good heart, can even go to the extent of not denying something which some guys would have denied. We pray that the long hand of God will bring the perpetrators. The long hand of God will enable the security forces to arrest those who have committed this crime. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Dr. Tusabe, then Driwaru.
Madam Speaker, I bring heartfelt condolences and deepest sympathies for, first of all, my family, my district, Kasese, the Wenzurua Kingdom, and the people who value life. Madam Speaker, I think as a country, we've gotten to a point where we have to put our foot down and say, enough is enough. This is no time to play politics. This is time to make a national reflection. That you have a role to play, That all we need right now is a collective thought and collective action to do two things. Number one, to identify and address the fundamental problems that could be driving this kind of trend. Madam Speaker, it is sad that it's been upgraded from a trend is now a pattern. And because of time, Madam Speaker, if it pleases you, after the budget, can you please allocate 2 specific or 3 specific sittings specifically to focus on what we as Parliament can do to keep all Ugandans safe? Madam Speaker, that is my only contribution, because we can't exhaust it all. This is a national crisis. It is upon this Parliament to provide leadership, Madam Speaker, together with all the government. Madam Speaker, my condolences to the family and my brothers and sisters from Arua, Indian Orange Party. And I bring through from National Kumbi, my FTC party. We are in mourning because our brother was that glue in this house that was holding us together. And we should, as a country, raise to the occasion that I am my brother's keeper, I am my sister's keeper. There is no FBC, there is no NRM. There is a family called Uganda. And Madam Speaker, I think that is the value system that all of us need to pledge total allegiance to the flag of Uganda for God and my country. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Can I ask the parliamentary caucuses that have not brought their money to bring it? I need the money before we close. Driwaru. Driwaru or Dria? Olanya, then we shall have our organ. Muiru.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to join other Ugandans in paying tribute to our fallen brother, friend. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, our fallen brother is a man whom nobody can have doubt in if you are told something about him. Right Honorable Speaker, I only have 3 issues that I would want to put across the board. One, it's good that most of us got opportunity to see the family of our beloved brother who is lying before us here. He has got very young family. The children are very small that I am worried after his burial what is going to happen. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to urge the members of Parliament, like what we did in Soroti, may we join our efforts to bring somebody in this Parliament who can support the family that is left behind. The second issue is, Right Honorable Speaker, when you go to that spot where the Honorable was assassinated, there is no nearby security post where he could probably have gotten rescued. Like in other countries, Right Honorable Speaker, we have in other countries, those people put very close security points
so that the communities are protected. Why don't we do that in Uganda? The taxpayers are paying money to pay the army. The army are staying in the barracks. Why can't we bring them out to come and provide security for the Ugandans? The Ugandans are living in agony. Let them come and support the police. We appreciate the work that the security is doing, but we need additional support to what they are already providing. Right, Honorable Speaker. Another thing I want to tell the country is, people said the fallen friend was not educated, but he knew group dynamics. During the time of campaigns, he was the only person I knew who gave out all the money that President Museveni gave to him to go and do campaigns. He organized women in groups. He organized the youth in groups. Now he has fallen. The women, the youth, and the other groups will live to remember him. All Ugandans will live to remember him. May you allow me say in Arabic, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you. Odria Olanya Aogan Muiru. Then Sovinya.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Speaker, I want to thank your office and the office of the Prime Minister who have been with us since Friday. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the committee, members of Parliament who have been with us since yesterday and Friday. And in particular, let me also thank Honorable Tinka, who last left us, I think, around 10 p.m. yesterday. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee yesterday gave me the opportunity to go to A+, pick the 2 caskets, and go to Mulago and pick the bodies. I personally went to Mulago and picked the 2 bodies, but it was not a normal killing. If members are given opportunity to view this body, then you will not believe. It is so sad. But the question is, how many more are in the lineup? We are born once and we also die once. When you die, there is a cause of that death. But here, we are going to Madi. They're going to ask government. He was shot. But what was the problem? What is the cause of the shooting? So we should be prepared to go and give the reasons to the people. Right Honorable Speaker, I know Abiriga was killed, but this gentleman was picked by this government from Arua Park, where he was jobless, where he had nothing. If you got such an opportunity to be picked from dust, you go and you are appointed as RDC. From there you are lifted, you become member of parliament. What reason don't you have to support the person who has lifted you from nowhere? What reason? The killer. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Olanya Aogan Muiru Kajinda then Sovinya.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to pick from my colleagues where my colleagues ended. As government, Right Honorable Speaker, we need to ask ourselves the following questions. And at this time, we need to sit down and find the lasting solutions for the unnecessary killing going on in this country. The first concern we need to raise and ask, why is it the killings at this particular time? For the last 2-3 years, we are having massive killing. But since 1962, when Uganda got independent, we have never experienced such kind of killing. Why at this particular time? What we are meaning is, where an individual is gunned down in a broad daylight. The second question we need to ask is, Right Honorable Speaker, why are the killers so daring and so bold? If you look at it critically, Right Honorable Speaker, the killers, they are not fearing those who have escorts, those who have guns, but they are so bold, they are so daring, and they come straight and kill, mostly in the broad daylight. Our brother Abiriga was killed at around 6:30. It's still clear. Kawese was killed in the morning hours. Why are they so bold? Why are they so daring? And they don't fear death. There must be something wrong, Right Honorable Speaker. Thirdly, we need to find out how many people are having guns in this country. And where are those guns? We need to take very serious stock of where those guns are. Right now, Right Honorable Speaker, we have so many trained people, and the government do not know exactly who is owning the gun and where the guns are. Right Honorable Speaker, we need to take up at our borders. I come from Amoro, and we border South Sudan. Within the South Sudanese camps, very many of them were got with guns, and you do not know how the guns leaked inside this country. Right Honorable Speaker, at this time we need to find a lasting solution. If not,
Augan Mwiru Kajinda, then so Winyanda, I think I'll close with Honorable Nandara. He was a good friend of Honorable Abiriga. UPC has spoken.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Augan.
Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people of Kumi Municipality and on my own behalf, I want to really convey my condolences to the family of the late Honorable Abiriga. I also want to convey condolences to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, because Honorable Abiriga was indeed the highest and greatest supporter in the land here. That one I can say. I also want to give my condolences to the NRM as a party. The party has lost. It's a big loss, and what a loss. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Abiriga was so much in love with the yellow color. To me, you could equate that to a will written in a spiritual ink and paper. That is the man that we have lost. The rest have discussed issues and people say the same words. But I want to say something. Madam Speaker, we need prayers for this parliament. Let us declare a day of prayer for us in parliament here. We go to the conference hall, let us pray to God. Let us have ecumenical prayers. Two, I also want to request members, we should not allow to discuss any matter in this house unless the first one is the one for security. That should be the way to go. We should not accept any business to be brought to the house unless it is that one first for security matters, so that we get solutions. We listen from the people concerned about what they are about to do, what they are doing. It is time for us to stop stories so that we move as a country. In Namugongo, I'm hearing whispers that somebody dropped a note that they want 120 heads from children and from men and women.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, I raise pay tribute to our foreign colleague, Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga. Madam Speaker, for those who were seeing Honorable Abiriga from a distance, you would not know what he was. Right Honorable Speaker, I came in this house less than, I think, 4 months. I met Honorable Abiriga. I found to be very amiable. I cracked a joke with him that you seem to be the epitome of branding in this house. Can you take me to your designer
He kept on reminding me, I don't know, he told me I need to take you. Can I give you the number? Until I said no, I was actually cracking a joke. But Right Honorable Speaker, when I got the news about the demise of our colleague, I remembered, Madam Speaker, in the 9th Parliament, we talked about gun control in this country. Madam Speaker, it is very saddening that the Minister of Internal Affairs did not elaborately tell us about the measure, because it's the duty first of police to detect and prevent crime. But two, and most important, Madam Speaker, the Firearms Act gives a duty to the minister to control the use of firearm in this country. But it is lamentable, Madam Speaker, that if you moved at washing bays, for those who live your vehicle at washing, you find people not uniformed having more than one gun in their car. Madam Speaker, when you look at the scene of crime, and what happened to the country, you see very many security organizations reaching at the scene of crime, not uniformed. You see people putting on civilian clothes, carrying guns, and actually, in the most instances, Madam Speaker, people even fear to action.
Okay, Rosa Ono Kajinda, Akena Nandara, then we go here.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker,
you are too short.
On behalf of the people of Rukunjiri Municipality and the Rukunjiri District as a whole, I want to convey my condolences to the family of the late Honorable Abiriga and the people of Arua Municipality. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to start where Honorable Reagan stopped. He raised a very important point about the crime preventers. We know these people were recruited in this country, but of now we don't know where are they, what they are doing, and I'm surprised the Minister of Security, this is the time for him to tell us where these people are, because some of them were armed, they are in our community, they were trained. Before you choose any other person, we should choose those people, because when they were recruited, they knew they were employed. But right now, they are in our community. So, Right Honorable Speaker, as a person from the opposition, I want to demand to know how many are they and what they are doing. You should get the statement from the minister in charge of security. Second, Right Honorable Speaker, there is the issue of the LOCs. We have a problem in our communities. You cannot identify a new person who has just come or who has been there or for how long. This is the time. I want to appeal to the government, don't postpone again. We want these LOCs in place. Security, village security groups. We want these people in our communities. Otherwise, Right Honorable Speaker, we have a problem of identification of the new people and the people who have been staying for long. Right Honorable Speaker, back to my colleague, the late Honorable Abiriga, I want to convey once again my condolences to the NRM party. My colleagues have spoken, and I want to add my voice that really he was a real cadre of NRM who was friendly across the board. All of us, I can assure you, Right Honorable Speaker, we have been friendly to our colleague, Right Honorable, Honorable Abiriga.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. On my own behalf and on behalf of the people of Lera Municipality, the Uganda People's Congress, and by extension also to appreciate the presence of the President General of the Democratic Party in sending our sincere condolences to the family the people of Arua municipality and the NRM as a whole. All of us who came to know Abiriga on a personal note knew him as an amiable gentleman, and those at a distance may not have appreciated that nature of Abiriga. I can state quite clearly that no citizen of Uganda deserved what Honorable Abiriga got. Not only a member of parliament, but any citizen of Uganda did not deserve to be murdered in such a brutal and inhuman way. Much has been said on the possible motives of his killers. That we can only speculate. But I wish to state clearly from a position of Uganda People's Congress, we have opted for constructive engagement. We have opted to discuss difficult political issues on the table. Not hiding behind the scenes, but openly in the hope that we can build a new consensus for the citizens of Uganda. Over the years, many Ugandans have lost their lives in brutal fashions. And many, we may never know their killers. And at this particular moment where the nation is actually polarized, it is important that those avenues for constructive dialogue across party lines.
Nandara.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the FDC, my condolences to the NRM party and the family of my brother Abiriga and the people of Uganda, and also on behalf of Bujisu. Madam Speaker, on Thursday, I came to Parliament, and at the security check, I met my brother Abiriga. And I told the security, check him better. He said, Nandala, you're not a security person to check me, to tell them to check. And you know I am a security person. I said, you know I'm a private general. So we started laughing. We're going together. It was only Honorable Joshua on your crutch who made him, yeah, I think, okay, that's the name. Your crutch. Who is the one who made him go away. But Madam Speaker, I want to tell the people of Uganda and the NRM that you are not our enemies. We are just opponents in the struggle. You have different thinking, we have different thinking. And Madam Speaker, I've been joking with my brother here for long. One of the things I've been joking with him, and I've proved it today. I said, how did you finish P7 when you were 11 years? That means you went to school when you were 4. And at those years, they used to make your hand cross. If it doesn't touch the ear, you don't go to class. How did you manage to go to make your hand touch the ear at 4 years? He laughed that for them, they grew up in their stomach. And to make sure, I want to tell Honorable Obine.
Honorable Sabunya. Now, other members, I know everybody wants to contribute, but you know there's another dead body outside, it's still in the sun. And I think we need to, because they are traveling together, we need to let them go. Honorable Sabunya.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I can testify that I have never spoken when any of the members are brought there. Because I would remember when my father was there and people were speaking all sorts of things, even those who are haunting him. So I've never spoken. But for Abiriga, it's a special case. He's stayed in my constituency, and I'd like to salute him for bringing joy and happiness to that area where I represent. I talked to him 2 weeks ago here when we were discussing the budget, and it seemed to be in the air. He was not himself. Then I go to him and said, you are my voter. He said, yes, I know. Then I said, I've not visited my members, but I will visit you. Then he said, it's okay, you have to come. You have to see me. I said, in a good place. I said, I know that place. In fact, the chairman for that area is called Haji Movement. They are fanatical supporters of the movement. And that's why he blended in so well with them. Honorable Abiriga was not only loved in my constituency, but right from Boise. I once followed him from Boise as I was going to the constituency. We went together and he was greeting everybody. His hand out up to Kawanda. So people made fun of him, others abused him, but he blended in well. When said, you pity, you.
Half minute to conclude.
Someone abused him that he peed in the city. Then he told him back, you also drunk, you are going to pee in your bed. So they could blend in well. We salute you, Honorable Abiriga. But at the moment, what I would like to say is that people have information. These assassins and thugs were seen scouting the place. There is information in the population. We pray that police picks up this information, puts a toll-free number, and I think at the end of the day, we shall find these thugs out there. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. We salute Abiriga. We salute the people of Arua. And I pray that they are calm. I know they love the man, and I pray they keep calm until we finish this by. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Honourable members, 51 members have contributed this motion. So now put the question that the question be put. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. And now put the question that this House to pay tribute to Honourable Ibrahim Abiriga, MP Arua Municipality. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Okay, honourable members, there will be a bus leaving here at 3 p.m. Contact Honourable Watuwa, she's in charge of transport. And tomorrow there is a flight, there's a plane that can take 15 people, leaving at 11 o'clock. If you could contact Honorable Cooper, those who want to go by air, so that they come back at 4. So I think that's Honourable members. I will ask the clerk now to extract the tribute so that it's given to the family of our late colleague. Thank you very much.
Item 5, anthems in reverse order. Honorable members, please stand up. The casket leaves the parliamentary chamber. Honorable members, please remain standing. Honorable members, please resume your seats. Item 6, adjournment.
Honour members, I want to thank you very, very much for coming today to pay tribute to someone who gave us so much joy and laughter in this house. I want to announce that the Lango Parliamentary Group has increased their contribution by another 300,000 shillings. Ankole has also improved with the 400, they are now 1,500. So I'm still waiting for the other members to bring the money so that we can give it to the family. Honour members, House adjourned to Budget Day. Thank you very, very much for coming. House adjourned.
Those are some of the pictures coming to you live from Parliament, and of course the long proceeding that has been, in Parliament has finally come to an end, and what we know now is that the body of the late Honourable Member of Parliament for Arua Municipality, Ibrahim Abiriga, will be flown to his home district in Arua District, and that is where they are going to right now. From there, the body will be transported to Kololo Airstrip and then, of course, be flown to Arua Airstrip. And once it arrives, it will be taken to his home in Anyafio, Arua Municipality. And of course, according to the committees preparing, the whole event and how, the function will proceed till the final day, he will be laid to rest in his home district. Here in Kampala, the State Minister for Internal Affairs will be prayers for the deceased on Monday, which is tomorrow, Monday morning. In Arua District right now, and those who will be traveling today, the gathering, there will be a vigil at his home, which is next to the president. And we've also been told that there will be prayers held at Arua Primary School. And what we know is that the late Abiriga has been someone loved by the people, and they have had to change that will accommodate all the numbers of people that will be there to, bid him farewell eternally. His final resting place will be in Lukudu village. That's Eramva parish in Rhino Camp sub-county, Lower Madi constituency. The late Ibrahim Abiriga was shot dead on 8th with his bodyguard, who also turned out to be his brother, Kongo Buga Saidi. And Kongo Saidi was a private in the UPDF who had just returned from Somalia. And it was on the request of Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga that Saidi should, take on the duties of providing security for him. And Abiriga is now survived by a wife and 9 children. Live pictures coming to you from Parliament. We are proceeding and we will be taking you live up to Kololo airstrip where the body will be flown to Arua district. We also have teams standby in Arua district, so be sure to catch all the proceedings as they come in, and we will be bringing to you all the pictures right there in your living room or wherever you're watching from. All right, we're still at Parliament, and during the sitting, of course, the members eulogized Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga as a man who was loved by everybody, and a jolly man who lived his life fairly to everybody in his community at Parliament and everywhere else. He managed to step foot, and we were told also that he's a man who liked helping people in community, so he never looked at something and probably felt he shouldn't do anything. He would do anything and everything that he can to help his community members or the people he met wherever he passed. And some of the members of Parliament, of course, were concerned not only the security status of themselves as members of Parliament or probably the high-ranking profile officials in the country, but also the citizenry. If we could just read through some of the statements that were made in Parliament, and a remarkable one, of course, was from Buwezo MP Francis Mwizuche, who said, "We cannot continue calling these people idiots and referring to their actions as senseless and calling them cowards, because if cowards then can continue to kill us, then there is a big problem." That was Francis Mwizuche. And Musa Ichweri was also concerned on the level of entitlement that some of the members of his party, the NRM, want to feel in society, which he says if that status continues like that, then we will ruin this country, in his words. Moses Variek also, he asked the Speaker to form a committee that would investigate Abiriga's death, and he also added that Parliament cannot wait for a report from the government. And the member Lucy Ekelo also said she had a dream that members of Parliament were involved in an accident, and since then 2 MPs have been involved in an accident, and the other one is Abiriga, who was shot dead on the 8th of June. And she also prayed that they should reinstate a prayer session before commencement of each session. Ibrahim Abiriga was at the rank of a colonel by the time he retired, and he was also, he has previously acted as RDC in various portfolios, and a lot has been said about him. If we could just continue taking a look at what some members of Parliament were eulogizing about, the life and times of Honorable Abiriga. And the First Lady, Janet Museveni, called on Ugandans to learn to coexist, even amidst the differences, and she wonders who could have been hating Abiriga so much to the extent of murder. Honorable Chris Barimunsi also urged security agencies to hunt down the killers of Abiriga until justice is established. Shooting is not just one of a kind. It's a trend that has been happening, and we have seen it with the late AIGP Felix Kawesi, and also, of course, the late state prosecutor John Kagezi, who was also shot by people on Boda. And as you can see right now, we are on Kampala Road. We are heading to Kololo. We have our teams there. Once the body arrives, we will be taking you live in Arua and show you what is. Opposition earlier in Parliament said the government should step up security for persons and property, and she asked government to check many security agencies and guns that are not under government control. I just let you know, Abiriga in what was then called West Nile District, and in 1971 Abiriga joined the Uganda Army. In 1979 Abiriga fled to Congo and Sudan. In exile he was in the National Rescue Front UNRF, and in 1986 and were mostly formed into the NRA's 73rd Battalion. Abiriga rose to become the 2nd Division Administrative Officer, and he retired from active military service in 1990 at the rank of a colonel. And in 2001, President Museveni appointed Abiriga as resident for Arua District, and in 2014 he was transferred to Yumbe as 16. Abiriga was elected Arua Municipality MP, and until the final day on 2018 when he was gunned down near his home in Kawanda, Wakiso District. Abiriga was a man known to love his party, the NRM, as just like the stories that we have shown you here. He was a man that really stood for what he loved, and he did not. The Parliament said that he was a man of truth. We do continue to, bring you what's in Parliament at the session that began at 7 a.m. in the morning. And the Prime Minister also moved a motion for Parliament to honor Ibrahim Abiriga, while he was saying that he's a diligent leader and a legislator who has served his people and Uganda with dedication and patriotism. We are currently at Kololo. Those pictures are coming to you live from Kololo airstrip, and the body will be flown to Arua District. There is a Arua airstrip there, and there will be people waiting. Of course, there has been 2 organizing committees, one in Kampala and one in his home district, and the one here in Kampala, of course, being led by the State Minister for Internal Affairs, Honorable Obiga Kanya. While we were speaking to him earlier here, he said everything that has been done, of course, there were sentiments that Abiriga, a Muslim, probably should have not been, out in the public till now. But Obiga Kanya confirmed to us that they spoke to the family, and the family had given them permission to give him a state burial, which, has been accorded to him. And right now we're at Kololo, as you can see. He will be flown to Arua, just to remind you again, and from Arua they will be proceeding to Arua Primary School playground, where they will have a night vigil, and of course there will be prayers in the morning, Monday morning, before his burial. And our teams are there. Herbert Ziwa is on ground. He will be letting us know what transpires there. His final resting place will be Lukudu Village, Eramva Parish, Rhino Camp Sub-County, in Lower Madi constituency in Arua District. And just to remind you again, Abiriga is survived by a wife and 9 children. And the man was a man of the people, just like you had members of Parliament commenting. Of course, we also got to know from the information on ground at his home village that 3 venues have been sought to host the people going to mourn him there in Arua district. And they finally agreed with the playground at Arua Primary School because it is spacious enough to host all those people. Earlier on, Museveni, of course, visited the scene. That was 2 days ago on Friday. He did visit on Saturday morning, and he tasked the security agencies to find the killers and also keep the public updated, and while at his home in Kawanda. He also made statements on Heroes Day celebrations in Kakumiro district, where he promised that their silence will pay dearly. As you can see, the pictures coming to you live from Kororo. Abiriga's body will be flown to Arua district in a short while. We do expect them to be there probably by about 4:30 or 5 p.m. Well, depending on the kind of weather and, the pilot's decisions on how to fly and when they will fly. But once they reach in Arua district, our teams are there. We will be giving you all the information that is taking place right there in Arua district. If I take you back to Parliament, some of the comments from his fellow members of Parliament. And Abiriga also served in the army from 1971 to 1976, where he later joined the National Resistance Army. The Vice President also made comments really eulogizing him as a man who was patriotic to his country. All right, those are some of the members of the organizing committee here in Kampala. That's General Moses Ali and the State Minister for Internal Affairs, Obiga Kania, who are coordinating every event that is happening here. Contributions, of course, were made from the members of Parliament and members of the public and his friends. And they're still going on. And as you can see, when they reach Arua district, just to remind you that the final place that has been agreed upon to host the night vigil in Arua district is Arua Primary School playground. Because of its space, they think and believe that it will be enough to host all the numbers that will be coming from all parts of the country. And just like the Honorable Obiga Kania told us that they were overwhelmed already. All right, pictures coming to you live from Korolo, and there is an expectation that, of course, they will be in Arua in about 1.5 hours, and once they reach Arua, we will be able, of course, to show you what will be transpiring. We have teams on ground. But the late Honorable Abiriga was born in 1956 in a district that was then called the West Nile district, which is present-day Arua district, before he joined the army in 1971, and after the overthrow of Idi Amin in 1979, he fled to Congo and Sudan. And we know Honorable Member of Parliament Musa Ichweru, of course also Minister for Disaster and Preparedness, made sentimental comments and promised that nobody should be exiled again in this present-day Uganda. And of course, he was referring to Abiriga, who worked tirelessly to to see that his country, has a good reputation. We go out of that kind of, turmoil that was there previously. And in 1986, he joined Museveni's NRA, and were mostly formed into the NRA's 73rd Battalion. He became the 2nd Division Administration Officer, but he retired from the military service in 1990. By the time of his death, Abiriga was at the rank of a colonel. If you can see on the screen, we also have some pictures coming to you live from Arua, and that is Arua airstrip, where they will be receiving his body. All right, pictures coming to you live from Kororo, and once that chopper leaves Kororo airstrip, of course, it will head for Arua airstrip, and once it arrives, it will be taken to his home in Anyafio, Arua municipality. And there will be prayers, of course, for the deceased, and the night vigil at Arua Primary School playground. And for those who know the place, probably can make your way there, and many of them who are still on their way. And also, there will be the prayers for the late who were gunned down on the 8th of June. That is Monday morning before they attack in Lukudu village, Eramva parish in Rhino camp. That's the body of his late brother also, Congo Buga Saidi, who was also, shot alongside him on the 8th of June. And they are preparing, of course, to leave Kororo and head to Arua district. This was initially anticipated to have happened at 2 o'clock, but of course, the parliamentary session took quite a long time because many of the members really were associating with Ibrahim Abiriga. It doesn't matter on which side they were, but everyone was eulogizing him as a man who was very friendly, very jolly, very associating. From his community where he was living in Kawanda, praising him how, his love for the children there, and they were waiting for him. Left or proceeded to his home. In some of the comments, we do continue with comments from the parliament sitting that started at around 7 a.m. and the leader of opposition was saying that his death should not be politicized, and we politicians, of course, in different parties had a uniting factor. On your screen right now are pictures coming to you from Kololo airstrip, and those are the late Abiriga's children and his wife. He is survived by a wife and 9 children, and we see also the State Minister for Internal Affairs is also boarding the plane, Those are some of the few people that will escort the body until Arua district, where it will be received and finally taken to his home in Afiao, in Anyafio, Arua municipality.
Extend a bit, extend a bit, extend a bit. Extend a bit. Anaye abantu mbasaba emotoka ezo bazenjeyo n'abantu mwesikemu abesikire muddala.
Just to understand who the late Ibrahim Abiriga was, he served in the Uganda Army from 1971 to 1976, where he later joined the National Resistance Army, and he rose to become the 2nd Division Administrative Officer, holding this position until his retirement from the army at the rank of a colonel. And before Parliament, Abiriga was Resident District Commissioner for Arua District for 12 years and Yumbe District for 4 years. Abiriga was also serving his first term in Parliament as MP, and he served on committees of Defence and Internal Affairs and Human Rights. As a retired colonel, of course, Abiriga and MP for Arua Municipality was shot dead near his home in Kawanda, in Wakiso District on Friday, June 2018.
Let's go up there.
Agenda
Hello. Yes, sir. TV. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mwana wako ndi mu government ndi mu system Geneza si case now.
That took place earlier in the day. The Parliament sitting began at 7 a.m. and the members of Parliament paid their tribute to the late Honorable Abiriga from 7, and of course, till this time when they are at Kololo airstrip preparing to fly to our district. And once it arrives in Arua, he will be of course taken to his home in Anyafiao, Arua municipality, for a night vigil. And a tentative program that has been provided from, of course, right now when he's being flown to Arua district until tomorrow when he will be finally laid to rest, of course, with his brother who were assassinated on the 8th of June this year, is that the body will depart Kololo airstrip, be flown to Arua, and then arrives probably in about an hour and a half. And once it arrives there, it will be taken to his home. There will be a vigil at his Arua municipality home next to the Presidential State Lodge. And on Monday, 11th June, the body will be laid to rest in Lukudu village, Eramva Parish, Rhino Camp sub-county in Lower Madi constituency, Arua district. Abiriga, of course, a renowned, honorable member of parliament, serving his first year as MP. Very famous for his yellow outfit and the love for his party, the NRM. The president earlier, while visiting his home, made comments that Abiriga could have been killed for, political reasons. But while members of parliament believe that they need security, some of them say the country generally needs security. And we also know that tomorrow, on Monday, the spokesperson for police sent out a message saying the entire security agencies will be briefing the country on the state of security in the country. So that is something that you also need to look out for. It will be airing on all platforms, on TV and on radio, so be sure to also catch that up and probably make a comment or two depending on how your security where you are is. Abiriga is survived by a wife and 9 children, and they're all in that helicopter that will be transporting them to Arua district, his home district, and there will be a night vigil when they reach. Some of the outstanding comments that were made in Parliament were from Francis Mwijuche, who said, if the country can continue, being, or if we can continue being, just to quote him, if we can continue being killed by cowards and idiots, then we are not serious. There must be something done, because these people are not idiots, neither are they cowards. They are serious killers, and there is a problem. That was Francis Mwijuche earlier while in Parliament. Of course, the leader of opposition also adding her voice and saying that there is something bigger that needs to be done. And as you can see, people have started gathering up in Arua at the airstrip. Of course, we have been told that there are many people there waiting for their friend, their relative, their community member, the late Ibrahim Abiriga, who has been a jolly man and a friendly person to all of them. From Kololo on your screen there, the chopper, of course, is now, setting up for takeoff. But what we have been able to see, that the family members, of course, plus some members of the committee, including Honorable Obiga Kanya, are all in that chopper that is going to transport the bodies to Arua Airfield, where it will be received, where they will be received, and he will be taken to his home in Anyafio, Arua municipality. If you have just joined in, we are coming to you live from Kololo. And that chopper there is carrying, of course, the bodies of the late Ibrahim Abiriga and his brother, who also happened to be his bodyguard, Kongo Bugasaidi, plus the committee that was organizing everything here in Kampala, plus his wife. And earlier in the day, of course, they started up with a parliamentary session, a special parliamentary session, Ibrahim Abiriga. And the Speaker of Parliament also said 51 members have contributed to paying tribute to the late Honorable Abiriga Ibrahim. And she said there will be a bus taking MPs to Arua. When we were speaking to the organizing, the chairman of the organizing committee here in Kampala, Honorable Biga Kanya, said they are already overwhelmed with the numbers of people who are requesting to go to Arua, to bid farewell to their friend and loved one, Ibrahim Abiriga. The parliamentary session was not only about, eulogizing the late Ibrahim Abiriga, but members about the security status of the country. And we have, some of them, like Paul Mwiru, who was saying that you can find people carrying many guns, but not in uniform. And at the crime scene, there were many security organs not in uniform. And if we just also look at Honorable Olanya Gilbert was saying, why are killers so bold and daring? How come they can kill in broad daylight? There must be a problem. And how many people own guns? Where are these guns? The government needs to know all this. And just to sample some of them for you, Honorable Kamuntu Ephraim, how I wish Honorable Abiriga would rise up from the coffin and witness the respect this house has honored him. And a man who loved his family, and he was a man with an honest heart. Honorable James Barber said the security issue should not be left to the army. Everyone's concern. And Honorable Moses Balieku said an attack on Honorable Abiriga is an attack on Parliament, an attack on Uganda, and let's put in place a committee to handle these security issues. He also said no one has talked about the bodyguard, but this should be a clear signal that bodyguards are people who would die for us. Honorable Bright Ramiram also praised for all members, in giving and searching for information that will help these killers, get apprehended and, of course, pay dearly for their crimes, like the president earlier stated while at the Heroes Day celebrations in Kakumiro district. Pictures coming to you from Kololo, and that is the chopper that has just taken off. We expect it to be in Arua district in about an hour and a half or two, and we have a team live on your screen. You can see. All right, I've been told that the chopper will be there in about 30 minutes, and in Arua district we also have our team live on ground. You can see on your screen we have people already there gathering up, waiting for their, of course, person who was shot dead on Friday evening as he went back home. Abiriga, as earlier said, he was born in 1956 in Arua district, and he offered to join the army in 1971. After the overthrow of Idi Amin in 1979, he fled to Congo and Sudan. And while in exile, he was part of the rebel group, the Uganda National Rescue Front. And in 1986, He joined Museveni's NRA and which was mostly formed into the NRA's 73rd Battalion. He became the 2nd Division Administrative Officer and retired finally at the rank of a colonel from active military service in 1990. And in 2001, the President, of course, Yoweri Museveni, appointed him as Resident District Commissioner of Arua District. We are now coming to you from Arua. Those are pictures in Arua District. That is what is happening right now, and that is at the airfield, by the way. People are there waiting, and they are gathering, of course, waiting in about 30 minutes to receive the bodies of their people, the late Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga and his brother, who was also acting as, his personal bodyguard, Congo Saidi Buga. The tentative program for the day after Parliament, of course, is that once they arrive in Arua, that is at the airfield in Arua, they will be taken to the late Abiriga's home next to the Presidential State Lodge, and there will be a night vigil at Arua Primary School Playground. And this is the same venue where there will be prayers in the morning, which will be Monday morning before his burial. And his final resting place will be Lukudu Village, Eramva Parish in Rhino Camp Sub-County, in Lower Madi Constituency, Arua District. Right on your screen, you can see the tentative program. Of course, the time has changed from 2 p.m. to now about 3:15 p.m. when the body has been taken off to Arua, and the body will arrive in Arua, then taken to his home in Anyafio, Arua Municipality. And once it arrives, there will be a vigil at his Arua Municipality home next to the Presidential State Lodge in Arua District. And there will be, of course, as confirmed by the State Minister for Internal Affairs, Obiga Kanya, there will be morning prayers at Arua Primary School Playground in the morning before his burial. Right, we're back in Arua, and we will be speaking to our people there, of course, when they get some people, because right now they are at the airfield, and as you can see, police is restricting people in terms of where to stand and where to be, because not all of them can be allowed to access the airstrip, and they have a particular point where they have to wait. So our teams have to be inside, and once we get people to talk to, they will be telling us what the mood is and, give us a feel of what is in Arua District as they await for the bodies of their people. And the word on ground that we had is that Ibrahim Abiriga was a loved man, he was a loving man, he was a caring man, and everybody in community there knew about him, and he knew, and everybody knew about what he had done and his deeds. Of course, the unfortunate incident was on Friday, on the 8th of June, when his bodyguard were heading home at about 6:30, between 6:30 and 7 p.m. when they were, attacked and shot dead instantly as they went back home. And people who were there told us that usually it was his signature that as he's passing, he waves at the people, and the children loved him. And probably this time he did not manage to reach his home, and he didn't even wave to all the people that he probably had to do so. And those were the comments on ground on the 8th of June, which was a Friday. Abiriga is survived by a wife and 9 children. And what we know from Arua is that the venues for the gatherings have been confirmed to be Arua Playground, which is spacious enough. After all, they told us that The two first venues, which one includes his home, could not be enough for all the people to gather there. All right, as we wait for the arrival of the body in Arua district, let's take a look at Abiriga's final moments.
I can look for a disciplined Abiriga.
That is Honorable Betty Nambozi trying to cause a bit of chaos here. Honorable Abiriga.
They started now. They have started. If I will hit one, they will say I'm a bad boy. The reason why I went to school or to pursue diploma certificate is because there's diploma of the UCU. These people are not certified with it. I said no, we are paying that course even for 2 years. These things I got them through the advice of the president of the Republic of Uganda. I showed them my papers to him, and they were clear papers. The UNEB rejected them. Said, Abiriga, don't worry, I'm appointing you RDC. Go and continue studying seriously.
Now You Know is brought to you by
Dar es Salaam Ports.
Dar es Salaam Ports is opening Uganda to global trade with efficient port services and secure routes to international markets. Connectivity from Dar es Salaam through Mwanza to Port Belt by rail and lake takes only 3 days, and through Dar es Salaam Mutukula to Kampala by road takes 4 days. With our effective electronic tracking system monitoring your goods 24/7, safety is guaranteed. Our rates are competitive. Trust us with your cargo. For more information, call 0414-220-720 or visit www.dauganda.com. Dar es Salaam Port, your gateway to global trade and prosperity.
Now You Know was brought to you by
Dar es Salaam Ports.
What is your priority in the next financial year? Is it agriculture, education, infrastructure, security, and health? Watch the budget speech on the 14th of June 2018 to find out the allocations. Our budget, our responsibility. This message is brought to you by CS Bag.
Know how we get illnesses? No! It's spread through germs on your hands. You pick up germs from any surface, like when you don't wash your hands after going to the toilet while playing, and then you can get sick because of germs. That's why you need to fight germs to stay healthy by washing your hands and taking your bath regularly with antibacterial Dettol soap that's trusted by doctors. That gives the best germ protection ever against many illness-causing germs.
Your hands with Dettol soap every day.
Nze Benadette era leero ndi muwanguzi wa motoka okuva mu MTN Momo Nyabo promotion. Now na dialinga *165 *2#. I loaded airtime, I bought data, and now I'm a winner of the 3rd car from the MTN Momo Nyabo promotion. Right now I have the keys here with me.
Win premier cars, Samsung TVs, Fit phones, school fees, and mobile money. Simply dial *165 *2# and load airtime or bundles. Momo Nyabo! Everywhere you go, MTN.
Drink Pepsi, everything go be well.
I'm Blazing Bo. I sent one SMS and I got this TV. I threw the drawers, 5 people. I won the screen, keep drinking Pepsi to get prizes. I feel okay, I feel happy. One soda and then you get a screen. I advise them to take soda and win some prizes because all the 5 guys walk out with a present. It's a very good thing.
When your passion depends on it.
Who are yet to lose in 3rd in the group. Keeper chose not to hold on. The closing down right from the front. Now, byline
and your life too. And then just avoid the uncertainty by powering your life with our extensive range of high-quality solar solutions. Power your business, household, and farming with our flexible credit and excellent customer service. Solar Now, power your life.
Designed for any terrain. Engineered for extraordinary. Get the new Ford Everest at $1,270 per month, courtesy of Stanbic Bank. For more information, visit CMC offices Nakawa or call 0414-286-780. The new Ford Everest, beyond imagination.
Fact. When you